Take a look inside your heart, is there any room for me? I won't have to hold my breath till you get down on one knee, because you only want to hold me when I'm looking good enough. Did you ever fool me? Would you ever picture us? Every time I pull my hair out, was only out of fear that you'll find me ugly and one day you'll disappear. Cause what's the point of crying? It was never even enough. Did you ever want me? Was I ever good enough? But boys are liar, good boys are liar. He doesn't see her, you're not looking at me, boy. Good boys are liar, good boys are liar. He doesn't see her, you're not looking at me, boy.
He say that I'm good enough, got him out there, think about shit that I shouldn't have. So I tell him it's one of me, he making fun of me. His girl is a bum to me, like that boy is a cap. Saying he home, but I know where he at. Like, bet he blowing her back. Think about me, cause he know that it's fat. And it been what it been. Calling his phone like he'll send me a pin. Ducking my shit cause he know what I'm on. But when he hit me, I'm not gonna respond. But I don't sleep enough without you. And I can't eat enough without you. If you don't speak, does that mean we're through? Don't like sneaky shit that you do.
Good boys are liar, good boys are liar. He doesn't see her, you're not looking at me, boy. Good boys are liar, good boys are liar. He doesn't see her, you're not looking at me, boy.
Over to the set play, maybe span that WP a little bit harder, but just with a tiny gap, Forsaken is able to steal one away. Anthem wants to go off of this, so it's a bit of a contact play, but I don't know if it's going to favor DFM. They're just rushing straight onto the site right now. Off the Trailblazer, may be able to kill Forsaken. And off of the run it back, he finds value. Forsaken still alive, still online. The 5 finding even more. Paper Rex unstoppable 5-1.
Looking really, really good here for Paper Rex. Just responding very nicely off the back of that pick from Forsaken. And, you know, Detonation did try to chase down Forsaken. I get what they did. I don't, disagree with it in any sense of the word. They just couldn't accomplish it. And Jinx, with that run it back in his back pocket, was able to come through and really slow things up. Gets a kill before his run it back is canceled by the trade here. And then he's just right back in action, just, popping heads like we've seen to do. A couple good kills here for Suggest, and I want to touch on Suggest a little bit. He's a player I've had the opportunity to cast quite a bit in the Korean region, assuming this isn't a really fast round. He actually is a pretty good duelist. He used to be a Raze player at times. So to see Suggest back on a duelist role, I'm very excited for it. He's a very, very talented individual player. His mechanics are quite good. So this is a guy that, if you're kind of at home wondering, Suggest on Jett, don't be super surprised. He's all around just a really good player.
And we have to see him come up live right now. He's the one with the blades. Everyone else, it's a little bit of an eco buy. It's going to be a little bit tough. Paper Rex, though, they're feeling themselves. They've won 3 rounds in a row, and now they are chasing. They're hunting. They smell blood in the water.
Yeah, Seekers were out, but Takajay, one of those players who's got great aim.
Still going straight into it, though, and here comes Suggest, like you were talking about, Clinton. He's getting that first head, the refresh on the Blaze. He picks up a Phantom as well. He doesn't want to overheat. Benkai, though, wants to apply the pressure, wants to deny the spike plant. And, of course, Forsaken coming in from behind with the shoddy as well. It doesn't even matter. Benkai cleans up easy, and that's going to be 6-1.
Yeah, it was just too difficult to cover all those angles there for Detonation after they get to the site. As soon as the plant comes down, Paper Rex puts their foot on the gas. That's the go time for them, and they want to punish the gun disadvantage that DFM is in. Yes, the funny part, the sucky part here for Detonation Focus Me is the person who picks up a gun is Suggest, who's already got the Blade Storm. Yeah. So it's kind of he doesn't have enough time even to toss that gun over to someone else. So it is a bit unfortunate, but that's a good play, a good recognition of the situation by Paper Rex.
One of those things just so happens. You think you got it, but Paper Rex already has the site surrounded, and I think that's great calling from Benkai because they know how to play that retake game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think he's calling a really good game right now, despite the early kind of punches that DFM was throwing their way so far. The blows haven't landed significant damage to Paper Rex's side as they're up 6-1. Still have the op in Jing's hands. You still have a couple Still have a couple ults as well. You have the lockdown and the cosmic divide here, so a lot of tools, a lot of powerful tools in Paper Rex's pocket. On the other side, you do have the Reckoning and the Viper's Pit still, but Jest finds an opening pick over towards Secret.
And that's big value. Your controller's gone. You lose a little bit of that delay unless Benkai can do something about it.
Use the ult too.
What I like though is Forsaken up, pushed all the way towards B-Long, and that's where he gets so much information. Paper Rex, they are anticipating this 8-hit right now.
See what they can do off the back of this Reckoning. Jing stuck in Cubby and just wiped out by Suggest.
Great. This is the set play that you were talking about too. They're going off of ultimates. There is a bit of a defender Killjoy lockdown from Benkai, so it buys a little bit of time. And everyone's right around this corner, exactly. This guy is prepared to strike. He's coming in for a bit of a flank. Meanwhile, everyone else is up around dugout, and they're just holding the angles. Paper Rex, the onus is on them to push this, but that's not going to favor them at all. Suggest online for the ace. I feel like he wants to go hunting, but of course, when you're down 6-1, you just want to end it as soon as possible. You want as many rounds as possible. Benkai, what are you going to do, buddy? A little bit of a peek. He's not giving up yet. Time is ticking though, and he's only got about 10 seconds remaining now. At this point, the best you can hope for is just more frags, but DFM knows this and they are running away, letting him die to that spike explosion.
Yeah, no ace for Suggest, but it's an ace at heart. It feels like an ace with how well he played that round. So hats off to Suggest, really doing the heavy lifting here. 8-6-1 for the side of Detonation Focus Me, and you know, Suggest a guy who's played at international events. Like everybody remembers the first Masters Reykjavik, how well him and Newturn played there, and it's good to see him coming online here. Some help from some friends with those flashes. A lot of really good ones coming out from the side of Anthem, his Korean counterpart on this team. There's 2 Korean players in this particular game, so they're really excited to see what they can do. And I really, really am impressed with Suggest right now.
He's definitely opening up a lot of these spaces, a lot of these duels. But what I'm
sorry, Anthem's Japanese. Forgive me. I was sold on for a second. My bad.
Yeah, of course, sold on the original Korean Jet. But right now, it's this toxic screen up towards B. That's a little bit of a default for DFM. And then they had the option to play through mid, the option to play through A main. Of course, it's going to be a bit of a contact through Words middle right now. But this is where they have that option. They take down one player from Paper Rex, they soften up those defenses, and then they just kind of explore their options.
Not giving away too much more information. There was the turret at Link. Yeah, Forsaken in trouble there. Gets flashed, has to try to dash up, just gets kind of lost, panicking a bit there in the air, but gonna go down. Toxic screen there is covering him.
Just continues to go forward. A bit of a cloud burst, and he's buying more time. He's rerouting, regrouping right around Pillar. Jing is here to back him up as well to buy a little bit of a spray from the Phantom. Doesn't quite seal the deal, but Jing will clean up.
And look at this, they're going through spawn. They're going through defender spawn, but there's somebody here, Mind Freak.
Oh, ooh, that's the first one. Zenfree, quick reactions. He's gonna turn this into a 1-on-2. This is not impossible to win.
Zenfree, he's been good for clutches from time to time with Northeption. I remember a couple of big ones into his hands. Gonna move forward. Secret Feather pinged out. They know where he is at this point. He's just gonna have to pop off.
And he's trying to force those one-on-ones. Jing wants to peek this, and that is where Zenfree can come alive. Gets the first, and now he's just waiting for that peek. Almost lines up the headshot, but Forsaken, having the Phantom, just goes in for the burst and spray. 7-2 now, and Paper Rex are still in the lead.
Yeah, some signs of life here from DFM, some rounds that are really close. So I will say, even though the score line is 7-2, I'm at least happy to see that a lot of these rounds, it comes down to the very last player for Paper Rex to finish the job. So just small things to clean up here. Like if Takajay gets this kill on the Jing, if he's able to keep that flank at Long B open for the side of DFM, this round probably goes into their hands. I mean, they had Forsaken on the ropes at the beginning of this. They were corralling the side of Paper Rex, but if you have one player on a flank like that, it's really important that he plays his life. It doesn't go down. He's able to really hold that, but he was under pressure. Like, you know, you could see that the reaction there for Paper Rex was proper. They were like, gotta wipe Takajay out, and then we can worry about the other side of things.
And that's what's impressive about Paper Rex, but also, harkening back to your earlier point, Clint, DFM really needs to go in with something more coordinated now. They need something to surprise Paper X because the default is being red. Going in towards the B site now, they have so much utility set up. Reyta even slowly pushing past, but oh, it's been spotted out by Forsaken. Blazestorm at the ready, he dashes straight into the Viper Spit. This guy is crazy. Jing here to back him up as well. The Forsaken Jing duo is here to play. Suggest is the only one left, and I don't think he's gonna be able to do this. He backs off, and Benkai sticks the defuse, gets the win.
I mean, that's just Forsaken going absolutely monstrous here. Gets those 2 kills and then turns on the Jets. Just starts diving into the face. He wants to eliminate that Viper Spit as fast as possible. I love this play. Heads up, knows how powerful that ult can be if they get the time to kind of position themselves in and around the outside of that super powerful ultimate. He says, no, I want to knock this out of the way, and Jing, he knows is going to be right there with him to back him up.
I can just imagine the team calls on this as well. Hey, GG, I'm going to go in. It's like, yeah, Jason, I'll back you up. I'll hug you from behind. That's Paper X for you.
Yeah, okay, they got excited at the end. You didn't see it, but I heard the clapping. Yeah.
Yes.
Don't worry, folks, they're excited.
Sometimes there's a bit of latency, you know?
Yeah, just a little
happens.
bit. Yeah, it's all good.
So Jess gets to keep his Spendle, and that's the one thing that we can kind of rally towards, but it's still gonna be tough.
He's been good with it, man. I will say, like, it's been a shining light here so far for DFM, and Paper X is curious about if there's gonna be a play made for the ult orb, so a lot of pre-firing, but in fact, DFM is kind of going with their strategy of pushing into mid on these ecos and overstacking either, you know, Art or the other side towards B, but Benkai ready for it, finds one, does damage to others.
That's just not quite enough for DFM. They're trying to seal off some of these spaces along with the time from Harbor, but at the very least, it's Paper X. They've got the game sense, they got the right reads, and all they really have to do is to point and click. This is a point and click game after all. Takajay now, 1v2, not impossible, but the spike's been dropped. This means it's gonna be kills from here on out. He sends out the snake bite, tries again, but the sweet wallbang is not quite enough. Jing spots out a tiny sliver and is able to seal the deal. We have some victory crouching.
Yes, the tactical crouching. I mean, Takajay, I'll say this. He's been really good with that Sheriff. I mean, as much as you don't want that to be a thing that you can say, you know, about like a positive thing, he has been really, really good with those. He got 3 kills in this round with those Sheriffs. This shot here is absolutely nasty. Absolutely nasty. That wallbang is disgusting. Again, it's close but no cigar. It's an eco, but you can't have these anymore. You need this 3rd round so bad here at DFM. Blazestorm popped by Suggest. You have the lockdown from Reyta. Only the Cosmic Divide for Mindfreak looking to be an ult unless Benkai somehow gets 2 kills.
I don't know if he even needs to really go in for kills. So much killjoy utility set up on the A site. DFM, they're gonna try to burn some of these. Is what I think they're trying to do. And then maybe reroute back towards mid, back towards B. There's just so much waiting for them. Look at the positioning from Paper X.
Gotta be fast about this. DFM is burning that precious lockdown time.
Dashing straight in again. There's so much, the nanoswarms are burning. Here comes a bit of a reckoning as well, forcing Paper X back from when they came. Jing drops the hot hands too, but DFM just continues to push forward. Devi holding up on the other side. It's Dugout, he's digging in deep, and there's gonna be some more kills coming in from Reyta. This is great for DFM now, because it's a 2-on-1. All they have to do is to play together, play off of each other, but Zenfree, even on the 1-on-1, comes up huge. 9-3 in DFM. Gives them a little bit more space on towards the second half.
Yeah, you found the curse value at least here out of the 9-3 for DFM. And again, I wasn't super disappointed with DFM on a lot of the rounds. It just, they had too many rounds where it came down to these 1v1s that they couldn't win.
A little bit tough at times, but like you said, when the curse has been invoked, there definitely is quite a bit of pressure for DFM. You know, I think like what the desk was saying, right? They passed that flag, Zeta passed that flag over on DFM. They really want that spot. It might be the first week, but this still matters.
Oh, absolutely. It's crazy. I can't even imagine the amount of pressure that DFM and Zeta are under throughout these 8 weeks, you know, of BCT Pacific. It has to be just you want to be there at Tokyo so bad. You want to be there at Masters. I mean, you know, again, I've seen it firsthand how electric those crowds are there, how many people, how much support there is.
People are crying at the announcement.
Yes, I almost was too because so many other people were crying around me. I was like, oh my God, like I felt it, like you know, it came through.
Man, the emotions, but that's the other thing. You can see that in some of these rounds, Paper Rex are starting to feel themselves. The way that they're so confident, 9-3, they're starting to push out. I don't know, onto defense, DFM?
I'm pretty curious. I think this is a tough ask for them. I think that's just too many rounds on the defender side for the side of Paper Rex. You know, obviously you would expect Paper Rex to be a pretty good attacker-sided team. Generally speaking, a lot of interesting and unique plays that they are willing to dial up. We didn't see too much of that here. I'd say that lockdown, kind of counter-lockdown play was one of the more interesting ones, but nothing TikTok. And I actually am okay with that. I don't mind those every once in a while. It's totally fine. You know, you get value out of those. Great. But I want to see them have better macro games. I want to see them have good overall strategies and kind of good reads of the maps and the opponents. And this one I think they did. Even in that last round, Quack, they read that where that lockdown was going to be. They knew what was going to happen. They had all the utility in the world there. It's just DFM outplayed them that round. And again, credit to DFM. I'm seeing signs of potential here.
I know. And we need to see so much more of that potential if they want to make a comeback on this first map. DFM, Entourage defense, you know, we've seen some defaults, some ideas of defaults, especially on their attacking side, but Entourage is defending. You've got Harbor, you've got Viper, it kind of works out well, but on towards how Paper Rex plays, you're going to need a little bit more than that. Contest splits will be long right now. Jing is going to be the first one to receive some of that heat. Forsaken already passed through the screen, but it's going to be Suggest, Jet versus Jet, and this guy is able to find a little bit more. A bit of an updraft as well, just to find some information, I think.
I think he was checking to see if they were getting really aggressive or not, to know, kind of relay to his team, hey, they're pushing, get ready, or hey, we've got a moment here to kind of breathe and start fanning out and start finding some more information. So some pings came through because this part of the map was left open for DFM. They're curious if somebody went in towards Connector, so they have to check this out. They don't know for sure. I don't think they saw all three players. I think one is unaccounted for in their minds, and they need to see if they can get it. Anthem to go for the wall bang through the box. He does have Zenfree there, trying to bait out a little bit, I think.
Great information. And at the very least, even if Paper Rex does rotate over onto the A site, Reita is ready for that. So Paper Rex right now feeling their pressure. They're going to kind of suss out potential spots, make sure that there isn't some kind of flank coming through. Right. At the very least, maybe Forsaken starts to lurk a little bit towards defender spawn.
That is a great nano swarm. Forces him out there, but Mind Freak is going to be good for it. That was really nicely handled there. That turret kind of gave away Reita's position.
Bankai, the IGL, doing his thing. DFM, though, we saw this from the previous half. The way that they stick together. Do you think that this is going to help them? I'm not quite sure if this is not frenzies this time around. They're going to try to play together. Flash doesn't quite find what they wanted. They cleared the site around this. Yeah, site's cleared. They could potentially stick this. But that's where Forsaken can sneak past some of these walls, some of these smokes. They're slipping the net, and Benkai trying to find a little bit more, but DFM sticks the defuse anyway. Numbers will prevail.
Huge win here. Huge win for DFM. A really good idea on this retake. Again, I love the way that they're using this utility. The proper, setups with the Harbor utility. Throw the wall, throw the flash to check on the site, make sure that's clear. Okay, now you can set up your defenses. They've got every angle covered. They're not caught off guard by, a great setup in a way from Paper Rex. You're coming from 3 different angles. That's how you want to draw it up. That's textbook Valorant. But they're still ready for it. You can hear they're fired up about it.
Like you said, it's a huge win. It matters so much, especially at the start of the second half. They have that momentum now, and hopefully they can continue to build up on it. Paper Rex, of course, is trying to stop it, but since they are attacking, it's a little bit tougher. Got Sheriffs in hand, trying to find some peaks, but look at how safe Reita is playing it. Everyone is spread out across the map. They are trying to control as much as possible. Art, of course, a little bit left open, but Zenfree is just going to deny this connector play.
Yeah, this is saw on the other side with Dubai in a similar position where you've got just that long range, better weaponry. Yeah, they're trying it too, man. They're like, all right, you stack up on your ecos, okay, we might try it. But they're going through connector here. Now, Reza is watching. So if they tried to go through water, he was going to be ready. They aren't going to do so. Things are coming down to just check the way here for PaperX. Benkai, I think, is kind of guiding his team. Ours is cleaned out as well. Quack, but there's nobody home. Get them there.
It comes down to their utility, right? They have to hit this site, they have to strike it together at the same time, and they have to be able to delete some of these players. But look at the crossfire position being held. Anthem and Takaje together, trying to stick the plan as well, but it's not gonna happen. I'm so sorry, Mind Freak. It's lights out, and it's DFM here to play.
Yeah, so well played here. They don't lose a single player. They get to keep all those Bulldogs, all those Vandals in their hands. This could be a bonus win here for DFM. They've got all the utility, they've got all the tools in place to potentially do this as good as you could ask for coming into this bonus for them. So really well handled, like you said, the crossfire, perfect, the timing, you know, patience as well between Anthem and Takaje, so good. Takaje a guy as well who, you know, I remember a couple of years ago coming into the LCQs back in 2021 that he was a player that people were telling me to watch out for. People were telling me that knew the Japanese scene really well, that he's a guy who is talented mechanically. I think we've seen that with the Sheriffs. Now we're starting to see that, you know, as a team as well, yes. DFM is putting it all together.
And that's what we're looking for, that team play. DFM, they've got what it takes. They're starting to find their stride. PaperX, it's up to them to break this, but at the same time, they know not to go too crazy. A single mistake, and it's just going to be a comeback.
Absolutely. All it takes is one more round that PaperX drops, especially if it's a bonus, and all of a sudden it's 9-7, and it's real close. So Jing getting really close to that run it back, just one more kill. Or the spike plan, I think they tossed the spike over. No, it's in the hands of Dubai.
Oh, gosh.
Here they go.
It's a bit of a flank, too. DFM setting up for that retake play. Forsaken narrowly avoiding that damage from the Nanoswarm, just updrafting above it. But all this is doing is really just buying time. Jing, Mind Freak kind of knows this. He's going to tank that snake bite. Unfortunately, it's not going to do too well, and Benkai trying to play along with his turret, finds the first headshot, plays around the pillar, a little bit of a peekaboo, and it works out just for 1 second. The numbers have thinned out, but unfortunately, it's not enough. 4-on-2, Forsaken and Jing. Can you two do this? 1 kill is all Jing needs for his run it back, and he's going to find that. Unfortunately, can take it out too, and he might be a little bit exposed. Not quite. Anthem trying to stick the defuse, but here comes Jing. He's starting to wake up. Hot hands onto the spike, and that's all he really needs. He even finds the last headshot. What a clutch for PaperX.
Huge play from Jing here. Unbelievable, and he got that run it back, and that is the key moment for him. That gives him the confidence to take an extra trade, to take an extra risk that he's able to use to get that opening kill. DFM reads this round really well, though. Again, it comes down to the last player for PaperX once again, but the heroics of Jing, time and time again, this guy absolutely nuts with his aim. They use the hot hands to lead the way. So well played here with his utility by Jing to back up his absolutely nutty shoot.
God.
He is
it's so good.
It's
Forsaken and Jing, you can't separate these two. And now it's 10-5. DFM, of course, is able to buy back up. They're not backing down.
Yeah, man. I mean, again, so many of these rounds. This has got to be the 4th or 5th round that has come down to a 1v1 at the end of it. That it has to be a clutch for PaperX to win. So, you know, really impressed overall with DFM. Even though the score line is, you know, 2 times the value for the side of DFM versus PaperX, I'm still really enthralled with both of these teams. They're both playing really well. I'm seeing a lot of good maneuvers out of PaperX, and yeah, you know, individual play is something I think they have a slight edge. Well, not slight, a pretty big edge over DFM, potentially in some ways, you know, just based on the history that and the kind of caliber of these players across the last couple of years. You know, everybody knows Paper Rex. Everybody knows how insane mechanics.
How to prep for a
Yeah,
first
not
date.
quite
Step
enough for
1,
DFM,
have a
but that's
shaving
where I'm
cream.
hoping to see them shine.
Step 2,
Like you
fix
said
it.
before, suggest
Step 3,
he's going in for
keep your
peaks,
cool,
and right
because
now,
you booked your ride
Jet
ahead with
is
Uber
trying to make it a
Reserve.
bit
Uber
of a
Reserve
trade,
gets your
maybe a
ride right.
2-for-1,
See
but
out for details.
Benkai just playing it safe.
New
He is
single
alone
by
though, and that's
Anna
where I
Vestra
kind
is
of
out
get
now.
nervous.
Make sure that you
But he's
check
able
it
to
out.
sneak past,
Here,
and this
take a listen
gives
to this
Paper Rex the
snippet.
sight. Everyone has already made their way past Belong, and DFM has to retake.
And look at this, he switched to Jing over there. He doesn't have any utility, but you know they want to make sure that Benkai hold down the site. Jing here, able to get one before he's traded out by Reita.
And that's good too, because he gets that information, he buys down and burns down that timer. Back to a 2-on-2 though, and they don't quite clear Hall! Mind Freak able to come up from the sides and put those thorns straight through DFM. 11-5, we are one round away from match point.
Yeah, just a slight
Register today
kind
at
of
ncsc.publiccharters.org.
loss of thought about the angle, if that makes sense. They might have checked it, I don't know, we didn't get to see it exactly, but if they did check it, then they had turned the other way, and Mind Freak found the perfect timing. Really well handled here by Mind Freak. I think they thought he was onside. I think this was just a misread a bit from DFM. They've been good about clearing that halls. I actually saw that they were throwing utility in previous rounds on those retakes to make sure the halls was clear, giving themselves good opportunities for those retakes. So I think maybe we might be seeing another timeout here for DFM, and I think this is a great time for one. Still, there's hope for DFM in my mind. I'm really feeling that they can run some more rounds together. They can make this a really competitive match.
I have to agree, and that's one of the things that I think DFM needs to do right now is to find ways to apply the pressure. Right now they are feeling that heat. Every single time it comes down to a bit of a clutch situation, it's a little bit tougher for them. You start to see some of these mistakes come out, like, you know, not checking calls, maybe not playing off the utility so well. On their defensive side, if they're always so reserved and then kind of giving Paper Rex the space that they are looking for, it's tough work.
Yeah, it is hard. I mean, even just doing your 1v1. So you're gonna have to. I did like some of the flanks and some of the other things that they tried, like where they overstacked Ruby main. I thought that was, you know, on their bonus round, a really good idea. Here though, they have some good tools. Potentially taking eco. They got a Marshall, they got a Blade Storm. Who knows? Maybe a Viper's Pit if you can get to it. Now, no damage found just yet. I do not believe there. That opening Marshall from Reita. Pretty quick hit. It feels like potentially from Paper Rex.
I think Paper Rex wants to force his low. All up on the other side. It just gives them the space that they're looking for to set up for this. The run it back now just to clear out almost everything. They have the information to play off of it now. But Reita is coming online. A bit of a Marshall shot, and here comes Suggest. One more knife is all it takes to find Forsaken. Some wins, but he's able to clean up, and we're back to a 2-on-2.
Gets blinded there a bit, or nearsighted there momentarily. Here comes the lockdown now, and it's Devi who's going to finally shut Suggest down. Takate. These sheriffs are nuts.
All right. Don't want to get too antsy with this, though. Benkai has to plan, and he knows that. Benkai trying to trick him into holding the angle. A sudden peek. And that's all this guy needs. We are at match point now, Clinton.
Again, it's so close for DFM. Another 1v1. I mean, that one is difficult because of the gun advantage that Benkai has, right? Dude, I mean, great rounds here on both sides. I mean, again, Suggest get these Blade Storms. He has been really good at this entire map. Very accurate all around. Gets shut down by the Sky utility momentarily. That gives just enough breathing space here for Paper Rex to regroup, reset, go get this finish. It's going to be Benkai with a huge win. It's a big laugh there. They're starting to feel pretty good.
This is the Paper Rex that we've been wanting to see, right? Like, towards lockdown, you know, they felt so much pressure from Cloud9, and it wasn't so good, but here they go. Now they're starting to peak out. It doesn't even matter anymore. DFM, though, just struggling to find that light.
It's, you know, now you're starting to feel that pressure, and with the Cosmic Divide as well to cut this off.
And that's just, it's the sight. Knock, knock, nobody's home. We get the spike down. DFM, where are you guys?
And this is, yeah, right. This is what's so great about the Cosmic Divide, right? It gives you so much map presence. And even with the Nano Swarms there to try to delay, there's still enough room to squeeze a planted setup for this long B hold with that lurk from Benkai. Look at Benkai.
In a great position. So was Mind Freak, but Anthem takes him out. The Reckoning gave away his spot. And they just might be able to deny this win. High tide, and they want to find that plant. Rita off towards the back of Halls. Jink goes in, trying to find more damage. But the timing just does not favor them. The spike ticking away. It's gonna be Paper Rex deleting DFM off of this first map, 13-5.
A great showing here from Paper Rex. I think just a really safe, stable, steady game. Not too much of the overheating. I didn't see a ton of the WP gaming. You know what I mean? Yeah, the TikToks. You know, little delayed WP gaming. But overall, I thought this was a very good showing from Paper Rex in a lot of ways. They didn't have to do anything out of the ordinary to win this game. They played pretty standard. This is kind of something we've been looking for them to add to their repertoire, is more quote-unquote standard Valor.
Yeah, sort of standard, but I think that's where we kind of need to see a little bit more from DFM as well. I think they were playing roughly standard as well, but that's why, you know, going up against a team like Paper Rex, once you've already started to lose those opening rounds, Paper Rex are so darn confident. They start to peek in the youth. They have that individual skill like you were talking about earlier. Yeah, I don't know. They need that extra edge. They need that depth in their strategy.
Yeah, and I think, you know, did see some big plays from the like of Suggest and Takaje and those kind of things where they had some really impactful rounds, but the depth there is, yeah, absolutely lacking a little bit. Genfree, Anthem looking a little shaky at times here for the side of DFM. I thought Anthem had some good moments with the Sky. I thought he was supporting his team well. I thought the Harbor utility was not bad, but individually, Genfree needs to pick it up a little bit, kind of carry this DF team a little bit further if they're going to get deeper in this Pacific event.
I think that's kind of what I'm thinking about, though, because Genfree, you know, he tends to play that Bliss sometimes, maybe controller once or twice, but we haven't quite,
he's been all over.
I know. We haven't quite seen him on the Harbor, but this is where the meta is starting to shift towards, especially on a map like Pearl. You got Viper, you got Harbor. He's using it to seal off some of the spaces, especially on the attacking side, but I don't know if that's so much like his style.
That's fair, yeah. I mean, when I think of Genfree, I think of KO sometimes because it's a mix of it.
Too low in my life, so I gotta stay high. Yeah, I gotta stay high. Too low in my counteracts up. I got my stacks up. Bad little bitch, tell her back up. In the cut with the mag tuck. Run up on me, get hit up. Ambulance needs to pick 'em up. 6 shots to the head like whoa. Run through the 6, no walls. No money, don't hands, no ball. Up, down, left, right, A, B, cheat code. Pull up my gun, sing like Lee Show. Rick on my coat, no superhero. BBS my wrist like Sub-Zero. Play a bitch like guitar, no hero. Running money up, stack it like Lego. Bad bitch wanna fuck, I say Lego. RP to my niggas gone. Sometimes I wish I could hit your phone. I don't really wanna walk through life alone. Ain't too many real niggas here no more. I lost my woody, my heart cold. Now I gotta walk through life alone. Now I gotta walk through life alone. Now I gotta live this life alone. Hate it when they play both sides. Too low in my life. Gotta stay high. Gotta stay high. Too low in my life. Yeah, I gotta stay. Hate it when they play both sides. Too low in my life, so I gotta stay high. Yeah, I gotta stay high. Too low in my. Walk hard in my body, I can't help myself. I get so damn high that I can't feel myself. My girlfriend worried about me, think I'm gonna kill myself. Sorry, baby, I'm just really trying to feel myself. Keep my head above the water while I drown in well. I got that drip like Gunna, I may drip or drown myself. You know I love choppers, I had to surround myself. Taking gelato to the head, smoke to pound myself. Hate it when they play both sides. Too low in my life. Gotta stay high. Gotta stay high. Too low in my life. Yeah, I gotta stay. Hate it when they play both sides. Too low in my life. I gotta stay high. Yeah, I gotta stay high. Too low in my. trying to find ways to impress her, showing her that I love her, trying to show her her effort. Picks my heart off of the floor. I'm addicted, I need some more. I don't wanna be lonely anymore. I don't wanna be lonely anymore. She picks my heart off of the floor. I'm addicted, I need some more. She keeps me when I'm feeling low. She's my overdose. Being heartbroken is so last year. Having breakdowns, she wasn't mine. Feeling ever since she been mine. It never worked. She changed my life. Open up like a book, let her read me. Walk all the way if she ever needs me. If I ever fall apart, I know she'll keep me together. Treat me like a promise, baby, keep me forever. I don't wanna be lonely no more. I don't wanna be lonely no more. Baby girl, you so gorgeous. Cancer in the chest, like cardiac arrest. I've been feeling stressed, trying to find ways to impress her, showing her that I love her, trying to show her effort. Gotta keep it together. I don't wanna be lonely no more. I don't wanna be lonely no more. She picks my heart off of the floor. I'm addicted, I need me some more. I don't wanna be lonely no more. I don't wanna be lonely no more. She picks my heart off of the floor. I'm addicted, I need me some more. On my way to the bar. She's in my head, baby, don't get me started. Talk about her all day. She's on my mind all day. As I find my way to the bottom of this bottle, she's in my head, please don't get me started. Thinking about her all day. She's on my mind always. I don't wanna be lonely. I don't wanna be lonely. I'ma meet you at the chorus. Baby, you're so gorgeous. Cancer, cardiac arrest. I've been stressed, trying to find ways to impress her, showing her love, trying to show her. Gotta keep it together. I don't wanna be lonely no more. I don't wanna be lonely no more. Picks my heart off of the floor. I'm addicted, I need me some more. I don't wanna be lonely no more. I don't wanna be lonely no more. Picks my heart off of the floor. I'm addicted, I need me some more. I don't wanna be lonely no more. I don't wanna be lonely no more.
You say it's time for a refresh? Lucky Ulta Beauty's Beauty is happening now. So treat yourself to 50% off best sellers. Benefit Cosmetics and Cosmetics. Hello to new products from Fenty Beauty, Tarte Cosmetics, and so many more. New you feeling at Ulta Beauty. Hurry, beauty's and it's April 1st. Shop in-store, online, and pick up today. Ulta Beauty. Beauties are beautiful.
What's a Walt Disney World thrill feel like? Laughing together, screaming together, and shouting together. Feel it at all 4 Walt Disney World theme parks, where Disney thrills us like...
Communities thrive when their businesses thrive.
The expert advice that Chase has been able to provide has been invaluable to small businesses.
If it's personal to you, it's personal to us. See what JP Morgan Chase can do for your community. Visit jpmorganchase.com to learn more.
Mommy, come here. Come check this out.
¿Qué hiciste?
I just cooked my Totino's pizza rolls with picante, and I'm feeling like a little...
Ay, qué rico. They're like pizzas, pero de pizza.
I didn't think the snack could be better. Tuna plus picante was made in snack heaven. I've been these for days.
Get saucy. Totino's pizza rolls
sauce and stuff that thing. Look for the Tino's Pizza Rolls in the freezer aisle of your favorite store.
Recognition, I recognize that from a distance, see it from far. Bare AMP, I told bro, big, you don't smoke weed in a car. It feels good to see me in the charts. I used to hit shots on rock and Linkin Parks. Ring the alarm, they talk by the trap, they ain't been in it once. YG with the trench coat on, it's black and yellow like a Christian nun. Tryna locate me a new plate, I don't put drugs in vintage guns. Stop whinging, show me some money, what's wrong with these self-inflicted bums? For my livelihood, push white in my hood, but I don't recommend it, there's no longevity. 7 get me, money don't make me lose my memory. Man, bad, do that gladly. I treat every day like a month, I treat every month like a month. They feel like one up for us. DTG, I don't trust bitches out on my doors, there's some I can trust. Don't even lie, I got PTSD, I ran up my family, they ran up on us. I left home when I was 4, I was 10 and a man and a half. From big, some your childhood, shorties, I pulled out my trousers, really, my cowards, out of mind. Jump out there, I'm right in the window, keep man off his mountain. Link up, farmer, cut it out, agriculture. We don't practice, we gon' catch it. I can't go broke, there's a no-no, can't fall off that. My chain cost 60,000, that's a club performance. I don't like bragging, I'm a low life, but I like high life. A Mary D, lost her arm and a leg and then she's still sagging. Bro, still sagging and yang and I know. Baby, I don't want I'm sorry, I don't want one up, PTG, I do bitches out on my dogs, there's won't even lie, nearly done up a for us. I was 14 white, and a man in the house. Straight to me, if they got one up, PTG, I do bitches out on my dogs, there's won't even lie, nearly done up a for us. I was 14 white, and a man in the house. Straight to me.
Revealing area.
All you niggas gon' die. Time rolling, bustin' on my opponent, no how stepping. Crush my arcs, totally wood jet broke, no motion. Sleeping on sofas, creeping in highs like roaches. I done went cages, stages of cage. Now free me, baby, can't keep me, baby. I beat them cases, they already hate me. They gon' want me dead when I'm on probation. Oh, y'all think, look, yeah, retarded. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet, I promise. Niggas can't take me, niggas can't guard me. I be on the floor, nigga ass like Charmin. AK, Carvin. We could be superstars. Like a pussy little bitch.
attempts the Astra as well with something like the Gravity Wall. What new strategies, what new set plays do they have to make sure Forsaken can get these kills?
This is going to put so much more pressure on the likes of Breda as well as Taka-J. They're running with this double controller. They've got the Omen, they've got the Viper. They need to be able to slow up the entries here and anticipate where Forsaken is going to be coming from if they want to have a shot of closing this one out. Because you know that PRX is going to come at you hard and fast. If you can slow it up, if you can utilize this comp that DFM have put together to really shut down the aggression, they absolutely can take this.
Well, it looks like it's going to be double duelists from Paper Rex once again, going up against the double controllers on the side of DFM as they try to push back here on map 2, tie it up so we can go to Fracture on map 3. Let us know, this is going to be the second map we're going to Lotus between Paper Rex and Detonation Focus Me as Paper Rex attempts to close this out 2-0. We're going to jump right into the game with the casters.
Thank you so much, Desk. We're back here on Paper Thin. This is Quacken. We got it. We get the dream. We get the Forsaken Yoru, my friend. Just give us
It's happening! It's happening! Oh my god! I'm a kid in a candy store right now. I am so excited to see this. When was the last time we saw Forsaken play Yoru? I think it was like when Bind was around.
It's been a little bit. Yeah, Bind, I think, is the last time I remember him playing it. And I think he's really talented at this agent, one of the best that we've seen in the world. Other than maybe Ethan, I think is the only one who I've seen who has a Yoru that kind of compares to that from EG. But yeah, he is a monster, and we are all very excited for this Lotus. Paper Rex versus Detonation Focus Me, I'm thrilled.
I mean, this is DFM's map pick, though, so I'm expecting them to be able to temper Paper X's aggression, temper that chaos. But who knows if it's actually going to happen.
Right. It is going to be interesting. I mean, I'm curious how much they've been workshopping this Yoru. Yoru, I don't know about you, but Yoru, I feel like, is the most underdeveloped agent that has so much potential in my mind, at least when I think about the theory crafting agent, like do all these crazy things. And so
fake the decoy.
Yeah, right.
TikTok.
Fake the fakes and like all this weird stuff. Yeah, it is TikTok-y, but it requires so much precision with the rest of your team to make it.
Yes, and that's where I think there is that little gap that DFM could try to exploit, and also where this double controller kind of comes to play out. But that said, this is a map with 3 sites, so there's quite a bit of room to work with, and not a lot of map control for Paper X right now.
The gate crash is coming through here. Fake out as well.
Site's
completely free. Yeah, they're giving it
a
up.
Lurk?
At the Lurk here.
He
Oh my
knows.
god, the
He
counter
saw
lurk. Oh my god, Benkai. You're so smart. Your brain is the size of Jupiter.
And all of its moons too. But of course, it's going to be Jing who finds the first contact, and right now DFM has no idea. Look at this spike. It's on a journey right now, Clinton.
What is I see? Look at Forsaken. Oh, he just gets taken out by Anthem. Whoa, I didn't expect that.
Back to the B side. We're going to A. Here comes Benkai and Mind Freak. We're getting 1, we're getting 2, but DFM answer
Why
right
scramble
back.
last
It's
minute
a
to
2-on-2.
get ready when you can
But
plan
I'm worried
ahead?
because Anthem
With Uber
has
Reserve,
sustained
you
quite
can
a bit of
reserve your
damage.
ride ahead of time,
Yes,
up to
he has
30
been
days
good
in
this
advance.
round. He has dealt
so when
a lot
that
of damage,
concert
but now
you've
he's
been
taken
waiting for all
quite a
week
bit.
is finally
Spike has already
here,
been planted,
you can
and
worry about
it's still a
remembering
bit of a
lyrics
journey here to
instead
go
of how
for
you'll get there,
DFM. Good
because
reactions
your
from them.
ride
See if they
already
can
booked.
finally
With
convert
Uber
on one of these
Reserve,
close
the
rounds.
plan always comes together.
You
Uber
already
Reserve,
sent out the Hawk.
get your ride
Clears
right.
out the
See
hut
app for
backside,
details.
but can't quite use the Trailblazer and walks straight into the crosshairs
red
of
heights,
Duff by.
no
Let's go.
Unexpected
Paper Rex
fees,
pissed around
ditch 'em.
again.
Simple
Yeah,
and
this
easy
is a
apartment living.
really
You can
interesting
get
round
behind
here
that
from Paper
at
Rex. They're
LTG.
giving the C site for free, but they know because of Benkai's information that the flank is coming. So the call from Benkai is, let's keep pushing, let's keep going, and let's keep them moving so that they can't get a good opportunity to kind of disrupt us while we're trying to plant, while we're trying to set up, and we can find that opportunity to find a good flank. It's so well choreographed here. Choreographed is the right word, like with a dance from Benkai.
So freaking smart. Brain the size of Jupiter, Galaxy Brain stuff.
Exactly,
Moving
man.
on to the next round. I mean, Alex, the coach, must have been cooking some stuff up as well. This is going to be crazy. I love how they're just on the other side of the door. Open the door! Open the door, and Forsaken is ready to receive them with open arms. Benkai on the other side as well, unfortunately sustained that damage, and this is where, again, that group stacked up stack from DFM is able to take out some player from Paper Rex. Divide though with the Phantom, they've got that firepower, they just have to make sure that they don't throw it away. A bit of a guiding light onto the site to disperse them just for one more second, and that needs to just has to be cautious of the other door too. He has no idea that Mind Freak is here right now, and he's down to 9 HP. A single whisper is all it takes. He jump peeks it though, and now he's running out of time. Gets the head, and that's all he needs.
Again, another clutch has to come through here for Paper Rex, another 1v1. And by the way, I went and looked it up. 6 clutches for Paper Rex during Pearl. 6! I mean, that shows you, first of all, how deep this team is, how good this team is for Paper Rex. But also, again, I want to say this, you know, for a lot of DFM fans out there, you should have some faith. They look pretty solid, despite the fact that the scoreline didn't look so good.
The fact that they're forcing them into these clutch situations, all right? Like, yes, they've got that individual skill. You just need a little bit more of that oomph to finish it off. This is only the first 2 rounds of the second map, so it's not all doom and gloom just yet. But DFM certainly need to find some way. They have 2 controllers. Got the toxic screen up towards A as well. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, I agree with you here. And I wanted to say I really like the way Forsaken played as Yoru in the last round, but I don't know if I'm going to get a chance because this one is like kicking off.
It is kicking off. It's going to be Reita. He's got the trap plays. Playing around the cyber cage. This is so smart. Even hit with the Seekers, it doesn't quite matter. He swaps the classic. And just has enough. Takaj up top, Forsaken below. I don't think Paper Rex is going to come out of this one alive, not unless they can do something. Divide, able to find 2, but here comes Reita again.
There you go. A good stabilizing round once again for DFM. Only losing 2, able to keep 3 of those Phantoms in hand. Let's see what they can swing together. They do have Suggest ult available. The Showstopper has found itself into the best hands. Again, Suggest here doing good work on the backside. A really kind of well set up defense here from DFM. Reita playing really cagey around that cyber cage. He's got backup from Takaj from Heaven. Everybody there working off of each other, playing well. And I wanted to get to Yoru a little bit there for a second, the way he played it in a link. I thought that was really interesting 2 rounds ago. Where he used the fake out to put it as they were coming through that broken, with the door you have to break to get through in A-Link. Well, forget it. There's another flash and a big kill from Anthem. He's got
oh my God!
Just with the big one! That is going to be Paper Rex wiped out.
Completely blown up. I mean, you had the utility, but of course the paint shells and everyone marching forward just to stop them in their tracks. This is what we need from DFM.
I mean, I'm just tickled. That was just a great setup here. All the flashes all over the place. He has to dodge the fake out flash, and they just swing in, and Suggest is fired up.
Everyone just happened to bump into each other at the right moment. Surely this doesn't happen again. Surely Paper Rex doesn't push C again, and of course they're going to head towards the A site. Okay. Cutting space. Zentry's on the other side, though, trying to stay alive off of it. He has been stunned, he has been concussed, but he's going to peek out right now. Gets the first one. Suggest here with a Showstopper, and this is big value for DFM.
Huge. I mean, just shutting this round down pretty effectively. Tavai is able to trade 1 more before he's taken down. I think this is going pretty well for DFM, man.
If I do say so myself, yes.
Yeah, if I do say so myself. I think it's going very nicely. Benkai here backed off with utility, and they're reading Paper Rex really well right now. It seems like every attack that Paper Rex wants to make is met with strong defense from Detonation.
Splendid.
Indubitably.
I couldn't agree more. This is now Benkai going up against a triple stack. This is just impossible, nigh impossible for him to hit. He's gonna try though. At the best, he can get maybe 1. But look at them. They're their totem pole right now, Clinton.
That's a good way to describe this setup, this vertical lineup. And Benkai has no hope.
No!
At best, he can get 1. He's trying to go for the wall bang. I don't know if you can get it through. And finally, the totem pole
good effort.
Collapses. Yeah, I like your commitment to the British bit, though. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm going to like wear a monocle at some point throughout the cast. Like,
dude, who wouldn't want to wear one? I don't know how they keep them in their eyes. I haven't figured that out.
Great question. Maybe we'll figure it out someday, and I'll bring it to the stadium. But back to the game, and this is DFM, like you said, they are reading how Paper X plays. If it's not C-side, it's going to be A, and they play off of each other. You already had Zenfree cutting that space. Of course, Forsaken trying to do the same thing as well, but that's where once DFM has that information, they know how to hit Paper X with it.
Yeah, it's really impressive, the confidence and the collectedness that DFM is playing with here today. I am really, really impressed with what I've seen so far, so hopefully this is going to continue to be the case. Now, we are going to see Paper Rex take their timeout. Coach Alex wants to obviously talk this one over a little bit. I think he wants to see maybe a little bit. If it's me, I'm saying, hey, whoa, pump the brakes a little bit.
Yes.
Let's feel the map a little bit out before we start making these moves.
And when I was team handling for Paper X, like last year at Copenhagen, we had this inside joke with Alex, the coach. Whenever you see him call a timeout, you can tell how pissed off he is by how fast he spins his pen. It's an inside
That's
joke.
the indicator.
That's the indicator.
His tell. So
he
if you're ever
spins
playing
it
poker,
super fast, and it's like,
yeah.
God, guys, listen to me. And I think what you say is holds some weight as well, because they do need to kind of control themselves. I think, like what Taysa said on the desk, when Paper X starts to feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more confident, they start to go in hard. And sometimes that's where teams can beat them and play off the information that Paper X gives them.
They're fighting for space. Showstopper out. Forsaken is taken down, and Jing able to get one with that Showstopper.
And maybe even a third! Shooting off the Boombot as well, and he's getting yet another support from Mindfreak too. And right now, DFM, just knowing that this round is almost over, Rada peeks back into it, giving Jing the fourth. Just spent his ult and he's gotten 2 more points back.
Yeah, so the adjustment here for Paper X was, okay, let's fake aggression. This time it's like they clear the space, they send the gate crash out behind the rock, to get Forsaken to cover the double doors. Jing is going to sneak into that corner there on the left-hand side, and they just wait for DFM to overcommit and punish them. So that was a really good call, really well thought out. I really appreciate that time out there for Paper X and Alex. So you can really use kind of that information that you think you have against Paper X, their tendency, against them there. So really nicely set up.
Great point, and that's mental conditioning at its peak. And right now they're trying to do the same thing. Benkai up on the top of Rubble. He's able to do a little bit more, and everyone's just peeking into each other at this point. It's a full-out brawl, and DFM comes out on top.
How many rounds in a row is this where they're just fighting over a main there, like right into Rubble, into the rock?
W Gaming versus W Gaming. Japanese W Gaming.
I didn't realize that Detonation Gaming was also now in the W Gaming tribe. I hadn't gotten a memo. Zenfree there gets a really nice angle. They recognized that Forsaken was TPing behind that rock. This time, they're able to punish that flank and set up one of their own.
Oh my, it's levels on top of levels again. You think you have us mentally conditioned? No, we have you mentally conditioned. But this is where things get interesting as well. Paper X sitting on 4 ultimates, DFM on 3. A lot of early round aggression, and this is what makes Lotus such an exciting map.
And look at the read here from DFM. They know that at least early part of the round, it isn't going to be an A hit again.
Back to C.
Yeah, exactly. So they're setting up for it. Now, that being said, I like this kind of pull back towards the A site here for Paper X. This time, this is, I think, a pretty good call. Now, you do have the Cypher utility there from Rata. Let's watch this. You've got the Dimensional Drift. So the ult here is going to confirm that most of this site is clear. You go up to drop, check everything, and see if there's even a little bit of extra input.
And just setting up for that retake play as well. Forsaken banking off of that shorty. Maybe he can find a rifle with it, but unfortunately, his position has been given away. Those Seekers steal so much, and they're so annoying. He has to back off with the gate crash, but this is what gives DFM that space. Now, Rata able to push up front. They've got a lot of different areas smoked off as well, covering door, covering site, a bit of a cage, and they just might be able to sneak a bit, but this lockdown pushes them even further back. The Jess has to go in for it, but unfortunately, this is the detain, and Forsaken will be able to click heads. One more, and Anthem actually able to pull back out his rifle. Unfortunately, no more time to defuse though, so that is the round basically over. Mindfreak just looking for an additional BM kill.
Yeah, why not? Just delay it just in case. Throw the gravity well in there just in case. You never know. Maybe he stuck it. Really well played there at the end by Paper Rex. That lockdown so crucial, and Benkai buying just enough time to keep it alive. that Suggest isn't able to get there. He's just a split second behind being able to clean this out. Again, DFM is playing aggressive for these lockdowns, and Paper Rex is really doing a good job recognizing.
It's
brutal when that happens, man. That's the worst feeling in Valorant.
That's the word I was looking for. Brutal.
Is there anything worse than being detained by a lockdown?
You feel helpless. There's nothing that you can do.
Yeah. I feel you, man.
And that's what's so smart about that play as well. I mean, DFM, they thought they could outplay the retakes. They knew it was going to be an ultimate coming in from Paper Rex, but unfortunately, it's not all it's made up to be. And they will only be able to dive out a little bit. And this is what gives Paper Rex their confidence to just hit the B site. You don't see this too often. On the other hand, though, pushing out of A.
Spike planted.
Got the turret to check for this, so again, DFM on these eco rounds. Oh. You get a little info on that flash, but the reinforcements are here for Paper Rex.
Oh, and they're just walking straight into each other. The Vi with the Guardian. Woo, 3 quick kills, and it's 5-4 for Paper Rex.
Nasty Guardian shots there from Devi. He's having a solid map for himself. 13, 6, and 3 right now on the scoreline. A couple more away from getting Seekers once again here, as he has been doing a really good job supporting his team. Suggest gets 2 big kills, by the way, here. Really nice. Let's hear what Devi says.
Apparently nothing.
Oh, come on, man. I set him up for like his moment. And he's like, I'm good.
I'm good.
I
no,
get it.
I click Guardians. That's all I really need to do. But you know what? On the other hand, DFM, they're doing a lot better on this map. They've got 2 ultimates to work with.
Get him.
Perhaps they just might be able to prevent Paper Rex from actually breaking in. But I'm so curious to see what this gate crash does. They have the site full.
Here. Yeah, last time we haven't seen them try C since the pistol round, so it's been a little bit. And I suggest not going to find any value with this showstopper there, so now they're going to have to try to clear the site with the utility. Use those zoo animals to try to get in there and see what's going on.
This is the zoo strat.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a zebra out on the loose, I think, at some point.
Yeah, here in Korea, yes.
But whatever it is, it's going to be Jing. It's going to be Paper Rex, and they are contesting to make sure that Defuse doesn't go on their way. Walking through that Cyber Cage too, though, but Anthem's trying to stick it. A good placement for the dark cover, but there's so many players on the other side, and Paper Rex mows down the entire squad of DFM.
It hurts so bad here for DFM that showstopper doesn't find any value, that it isn't able to either kill the planter or stop it, depending on the timing of it. So Detonation Focus Me going to take a timeout, and I think this is a good time for one, because it's starting to get a little bit scary in this half. Now, it is the attacker side, and as we saw it lock in, at least so far, you know, this has been an attacker-sided map, right? At least so far in the meta. So if you can string together 2 more here, if you can make this 6-6 as DFM, you gotta feel good that we could actually go to Fracture.
It is not outside of that realm of possibility. Of course, calling the timeout is going to give them that extra buff as well. Trying to think about where Paper Rex is going to go this time.
Yeah, this is, I mean, it's tough, man.
Mind games.
Mind games on mind games, right? We saw those kind of weird push and pull fights over the A, you know, kind of main A lobby area. What's going to be the change now here for DFM? I'm really curious how they want to do this. I think getting aggressive on the wings of the map has worked for them. Maybe they try to go back into that well where they are, you know, pushing towards sand on the C side, pushing towards the rock on the A side, you know, trying to see if they can catch Paper Rex a little bit off guard. Maybe they go for something like that, maybe some set plays. I think the economy's a little bit weak now for DFM though. So, you know, trying to prep out these last 2 rounds and really, you know, make sure that at least the final round. Yeah, if you'd love the 6-6, of course. It's going to be really tough to get the eco, but you know,
even
at least get the
7-5.
7-5.
Yes. Yeah. What you don't want to see is that 4-8. So if DFM can do anything, and this is what I like about Zenfree, you know, I think Will was talking about mind games. Zenfree is able to pull off some of those, especially as Omen. Unfortunately, this time around, it's just going to be teleporting on top of the Rumble, but what a shot from that Sheriff! Suggest! Able to maybe find a little bit more. He's stuck into that position, so Jing is able to delete him for the time being, opening up the door and pushing further on through into the A site, but potentially definitely falling back as well. They have the spike and they want to make do with it. They don't want to drop to this Thrifty that DFM just might be serving up on the plate.
Suggest that is shades of New Turn Suggest right there with the Sheriffs. They were well known for their ability to use those Sheriffs to great effect, and you just saw right there, folks, why they were highly regarded in that aspect. Now rotate over to C. You are able to use the Neural Theft to confirm the positioning and the location. You've got Takaje on point here. Needs to be a little bit careful. I can see Jing starting to reach out. No, they're going to both back off, so no contact made. DFM waiting for the full 3 to go for this retake.
Got a little bit of that whiff. Kind of smelling Takaje. At the same time, the rest of DFM pushing up. Oh my god,
no.
Jing.
Not like this.
One down.
Cleans it up, gets that first headshot, but it's back to a 2-on-2, and they know they have to play carefully around this because it's 2 players from DFM on the site itself. And with the Cyber Cage peeking out of it, Anthem, we are singing for him.
A huge Thrifty win now for Detonation Focus Me. We wanted the 6-6. Well, we might be getting it. This is phenomenal play here on the back of just absolutely disgusting shooting from Suggest. He is, we gotta see this. Let's see what he says. Let's see if he says anything. Oh, they slow it down. Nice, okay, we got a bit of a reaction on that one.
You can hear that they were actually calling out. There are 3 players on the other side. Yep. I think that's what he was saying.
Yep. What's so fun, I feel so bad for Takaje. Whoa, we're just fired up again. Okay, go for it, man. Like, this is free. I love that he keeps doing this because it is throwing Paper Rex off guard. Like, they can't get into that position behind the rocks like they want to get that extra angle to take a main.
And the paint shells were spent. Now Takaje comes up with the Viper Spin, but no! He wasn't expecting Bankai right on the other side, knocking on death's door. Going further into it, though, it's going to be Reita pre-aimed onto where the spike would have been planted. Deletes Jing, and we're back to a 4-on-4. Cosmic Divide up as well.
You should run.
Healing through Suggest, trying to go in. Reita with another big kill.
They're just not slowing down, Clinton. I don't know what's happening anymore. You've got the lockdown into play, and DFM just might get stuck again. Zenfree just narrowly avoiding it. He's able to dish out a little bit more damage and save his teammates from extinction. 2-on-3, though. And Paper Rex are not done. The spike is still ticking away. They have the positioning, and Suggest has to peek into them. Benkai just holding up by the other side of Mound. All he needs to do is to find that shot. But unfortunately, it's going to be the kill for Suggest. No time for the defuse, though. And it is indeed going to be a 5-7.
Yeah, I was sitting there getting a little bit anxious because I could feel that time ticking down for DFM. I'm like, even though they had numbers advantage, they got to start pressing. And it was just enough to hold things on here for Benkai. You know, he's doing a great job. Reita with a couple big kills on this. Through the smoke, another around the corner. Low HP, still finding a lot of value. Zenfree there with a good one. Suggest doing everything he can, but it's just not quite enough. 19 kills in that half for Suggest. An absolutely massive half for him, and DFM keeping it so close.
We just can't forget that Sheriff round.
Oh god, I mean, that is one of the highlights of this one. That Jing 4K and that Sheriff 3K there, you know.
You love to watch it.
I do, dude. I just absolutely do. I love Suggest. I've always been a big fan of his. I felt like, you know, last year he was bouncing around teams, trying to find a home, and I'm really happy that Detonation Focus Me took a chance on him to bring him into the partnership teams, you know, to bring him into this league, because he is a player who I thought back in 2021 really had a ton of potential, and you're seeing one.
Exactly why. Of course, sometimes when it comes down to it, though, it's just some minor misreads, especially in that last round. The Vipers pit up, but they weren't quite expecting Bankai to be that close. And that, I think that's kind of the thing about playing Lotus. You have so many different areas to look out for. You've got Zenfree definitely taking control over Rubble, but sometimes you're just not quite sure about the other parts of the map, especially towards the C side. You know, I think they thought it was actually kind of clear that they had a little bit more space.
Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right. And I think you make a really great point here that it's little things for DFM that are causing them to falter in some of these incredibly close rounds where it takes a single player from Paper Rex to win it. So on the one hand, I think that's you know, if you're taking the glass half full approach here for DFM, they look improved since lock-in. The glass half full thing is they're still making little mistakes that are costing them rounds.
That's true too. Still, I think if you're a Japanese fan right now, you must be pretty darn happy to be watching this. And I love what Zenfree is doing as the Omen too.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I think that's a really great point here. And this was something I actually was really keen about, that, you know, the difference in controllers here. The Astra.
Pseudo-initiator?
The pseudo-initiator, yeah, exactly. You can kind of double up on those flashes. We saw that at Sands with that quick wipeout that DFM had in that one round, where they were able to kind of combine with a lot of that, you know, initiator-esque utility there. And, and also you've got one-ways and other things that you can set up with the Omen. So, but the TPing has actually been really important here.
It is huge. Something that we haven't perhaps quite seen that much of from Forsaken. You know, we saw signs of it on their attacking side, but now that they're on defense, that's where I expect to see a lot more cooking up.
Caution.
But back into it, look at how all these 4 positions that Paper Rex are holding. Oh.
Pressure there, yeah. Devi has to piece out. They're almost able to catch him there with that snake bite, at least, you know, ding him up a little bit, but he actually gets out just in time.
Information gained, but no huge commitment. Just everything blocked off. Perhaps by their own poison orb.
Yeah,
but look at how they're rotating.
Exactly. Yeah, no, precisely. And look at where they're leaving Takajay here. They got the read as well, DFM here, that, you know, there was a decent commitment of resources onto C.
Enough resources just creates enough pressure for the rotation to be baited out from Paper Rex.
30 seconds left.
Trailblazer onto A site, and this gives Reita the information that he was looking for. Hit gone off from Benkai, and the site claimed by DFM.
Looks like it should be a plant. Oh, Jing pushing.
Spike planted.
Big kill.
There.
Got that kill. A little bit more space too, but now this is where it gets a little bit tricky, a little bit dicey if you were. There's so many players on the other side that they have to make sure that they're all dead, but DFM are holding these angles. They even have the toxic screen up just in the nick of time to buy more time for their own side. Reita still peeking in left and right, and Takajay at the right time from the top. Mindfreak had no idea what hit him, and DFM, once again, they're finding the second half pistol round win.
Exactly, yeah. It's been good for them in that sense that they're able to trade the pistol rounds. It's been 50-50, so that's always a nice kind of piece here, but yeah, just sees the back of Benkai. Be able to take him down. Jing getting aggressive, able to knock Zenfree out right after the plant comes through, but then there's the crossfire setups here for DFM in the post plant. That's it. Korean and finish it is what he's saying there. So yeah, at least I think so. If I heard it right, it's a little hard to hear it, but really impressive stuff from DFM. Ogoy.
I don't know about this one though, Chief. Impressive still from DFM, and Paper Rex are just walking straight into this blender. I'm not a huge fan of this strat.
Well,
tell you what,
it's an eco, right? Sometimes you win them, you know, sometimes you flip a coin and try to push out one angle and hope they're not there, or even if they are, maybe you can
get some right clicks.
Yeah, exactly. But it's okay. I mean, I'm not like a huge fan of it, but I'm not also like, I'm not gonna like get upset about it.
Yeah.
It is.
But that's my thing though, because I think DFM, the way that they were positioned, they were kind of expecting that. And, and that's where it might be a big problem for Paper Rex now, because they're starting to get a little bit predictable. So you kind of need to tame this aggression. And that's exactly what they're doing this round, because they have the rifles to work with. They don't want to lose that so easily.
Ash there has to force the TP. And now it's going to be a pullback from DFM. So I totally agree with you here that Paper Rex was getting a little bit too predictable here. You know, we've seen this a couple times where DFM has had the perfect read on what Paper Rex wants to do in the early parts of the round. So definitely need to maybe start finding some of that mid-round magic, some of that Benkai specials that he can dial in. Now, just clearing some space. We're not going to see anything on the other side of that smoke, so don't know how close it is. Suggest gets Divide out the rip.
No. It does kind of create a bit of a graveyard towards this mound area. A little bit more so for Paper Rex than DFM. Good idea with the decoy to push out along with it, but still when it comes down to it, it's going to be DFM feeling pretty comfortable, at least until Mindfreak opens the revolving doors and Forsaken peeking out from Seaside itself. And all of a sudden, DFM, they're looking for another avenue of entry on towards the B side, but there are two players to deal with, and Reita will not be able to survive that contact. Zenfree, the only one left now, blocked off by this Nebula. As soon as he walks out even a little bit, his gun barrel will peek out, so he has to be so careful. He no longer has time, Clinton.
Yeah, there's no way he can get it down here. Trying to see if he can use it, and he does. He does find the kill, at least on the Mindfreak, but yeah, certainly there is absolutely no way. Maybe he can get a ult orb out of this, and he is. Can he find another kill? He gets it. Huge. At least he's got his ult online. I'll say that.
All right.
I'll say that.
Still useful, too. I mean...
Yes. On this map, yes.
You've already gotten the first 2 rounds. You lost the third. Maybe no bonus, but all good. I think that the ult is the bonus that you get. Maybe use it for information or some sort of positional displacement.
And you did a ton of damage on your bonus to Paper Rex. Like a ton.
Big value.
I like this wide swing with the backup from Benkai on that little replay we just saw. A really nice kind of teamwork play there between those two. The Mindfreak really dragging that crosshair off of Reita's to avoid that kill. And those are little things like that. Good coordination between Paper Rex you want to see more of. Continued DFM really free-firing, really not being quiet at all, not being sneaky at all about this push out in towards A. Let's see if this is going to be a commit.
Oh my god.
Oh, and a judge.
And a judge.
Oh no.
We're cooking. He wants to cook.
What's he cooking with that judge, though, is my question. What are you cooking with that? Is that like hamburgers? Like
That's a great question.
Something not super tasty. Nobody likes the judge. Broccoli, Brussels sprouts. Although I really like Brussels sprouts, so I can't say that.
You're going into vegetable territory now.
Dude, Brussels sprouts are great. Little salt, little pepper, little oil.
I don't hate them. There it is. A nice Brussels sprout served up just for you, Clinton.
Wow.
But guess what?
Thanks, Benkai.
It's a little bit of a fake because DFM are headed towards the C side, but I think Paper Rex has this red. They're all positioned here as well. A bit of a paranoia does kind of pull them back for a second, but Forsaken is still available. Unfortunately, it's going to be Suggest and Reita who take him out of the equation. 2 on 3, and that guy still has his judge, so firing it blindly, he's trying to find something. The showstopper goes through, and that just creates more space. Here comes the From the Shadows. Oh my god.
Just on the backside, just kind of positioning here for this post plant is DFM. Guns are going to be upgraded for Divide. So let's see what Paper Rex can do here.
It's the right plant. They planted right for
enemy
mounds,
remaining.
Reita just looking for the headshot. Suggest goes in for the crouch to commit to the spray. And it's 8-8 for DFM.
This is a phenomenal half so far here for DFM. A phenomenal map for DFM. A lot of good things for Paper Rex, of course, too, but you know, I really want to give DFM the credit they deserve. Now this is just, you know, this sucks. Just judge things. Of course, like you said, the Brussels sprouts, sometimes they don't taste good, but they're healthy for you. And it's healthy for Paper Rex to get that kill, but at the end, DFM able to push through, find a lot of space on the back of that Paranoia, on the back of that entry utility to create the space, to come up the stairs on the backside. Forsaken is only good for 1 there before, you know, he's swarmed from 2 different angles, and that's just a big ask. For any player, and yet another timeout here for Paper Rex, their second one.
And that's all the timeouts that they're gonna have. Might as well stop this momentum as early as possible, right? But you've got so much to consider because right now, DFM, this is their map. They have the strats for this. You have 2 controllers to look out for, and sometimes Takagi is that bit of a lurk. You can tell that Paper Rex have, they're not just trying to cook up strats, there's so much to consider in their heads.
Yeah, no, it is a lot. And I think especially on this new map, It's a big map. There's a lot of angles. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it. I actually really like this map for that sake alone, is that there's a lot of different things. Is that Jing's mom there?
It looks like it. I kind of think it is High Pearl.
Hard to tell with the sign, but I believe that was. We got a lot of Paper Rex fans here. I saw some Paper Rex jerseys floating around out in the crowd.
Oh, the new ones too.
Yes, they're amazing. Look, I've always liked Paper Rex jerseys. I like the purple ones because that's my favorite color, but the new ones are quite good as well.
I've seen online comments saying that they look like tablecloths.
A bit.
To me, it's like candy cane Christmas sweater colors.
Oh, yeah. They do.
All right. They only have pistols this round, and
it's not as fun.
This is interesting. They're just stacking up on C.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's another gamble stack. Same thing we saw in their last eco, right? Just trying to see if they can, kind of catch DFM a little bit off guard. They're gonna know for sure there's at least two, and yeah, the crossfires are good here for DFM.
So much better.
DFM has done such a good job, a lot of weathering the aggression from Paper Rex. I'm really happy to see that on this map, that they're ready for a lot of these push-outs.
I mean, if you look at the timer, exactly, like what you're saying, they're not just like full-on committing towards a single site. They're setting up towards mains, the C main, B main, A main, if you will, and just waiting for Paper Rex to actually peek out. And this time it happened to Forsaken, it happened to Bankai.
30 seconds
Mindfreak's
left.
the only one left who can kind of anchor or buy a little bit more time, but he only has one more star, and here comes the point of contact. It's going to be Taka J, Anthem, everyone rushing straight into it. It's a bit of a good gravity well, but they just didn't quite have the firepower this round, so DFM on a roll.
Yeah, precisely. It's a good little trap setup. It's a flash into a gravity well. It gives them opportunities to get kills. They're only able to find one. The set play there for Paper Rex it's good bait. The early part of the round, it's, again, DFM playing good positions, playing a good anti-flash position, waiting for players to wait out that utility that's going to pop out from Paper Rex. They get a couple kills that way. Paper Rex, I like what they did in that round. I thought that was a bit better than what we saw in the last eco, right, where they just kind of W-keyed it. Here, they at least tried to set up a trap with their utility.
Need more of that. Clinton is getting on with his years, so he's not a fan of those TikToks. Those darn TikToks these days.
Those kids and their TikToks.
Oh, look out for Forsaken's playing this out.
We haven't seen too much of it, though. I mean, we don't have Sage. I feel like that's like the ultimate TikTok agent, right?
Rim walls.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and Bankai is so well known.
We saw
those.
that. We saw that in lock-in.
Yes.
But this time, he's going for a bit of a safer Sentinel to play with. I like what Forsaken did to kind of just get information and back out with the gate crash. But right now, they know that it's going to be a hit towards A site, and then they position themselves for a bit of that flank. It all rushes straight into the Paper Rex B main push, and Forsaken is the one to snipe it out. We're back to a 9-9.
It's a great little change up here from the side of Paper Rex. Getting a little bit more pressure towards mid, trying to get that information, trying to use that kind of main camping that we've been seeing from DFM, and I mean, A main, C main, where they've been sort of waiting Paper Rex out against them here, and they're able to push out and get tons of value. Divide there with a big one. Reactions? Clapping? Okay, good enough.
Good enough.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
There it is. A little bit delayed. Singapore to Korea ping.
Yeah, it's okay, yeah.
70 MS.
70 MS, 60 MS, maybe. I don't know exactly what it is. What is it, 70?
I think it's 70, yeah.
It's not too much.
For my account, at least, but...
Meanwhile, I
could
have 5 MS when I play Valorant in Korea.
Okay, we're flexing now. We got
That's right.
Korean Wi-Fi.
That's right. I may be old, but I've got great latency.
Great latency.
Yeah. Doesn't help my reaction time.
I don't know. I think you could do it, but...
I appreciate the confidence. Thank you. It's misplaced, but I appreciate it.
Look at this control, and again, okay. A quick scope into a gate crash, and all of a sudden he's back towards the A site. He's ready for a secondary hit, if it so comes.
So nasty, so fast, dude. I mean, I'm just...
He's kind of playing it like Jet.
He does play it a bit like Jet. Yeah. You can feel that tendency in him, where it's a hit and run. And like a bit chamber-ish, too.
Oh. I don't know about this one, though. Jing has the showstopper. This could be deadly. And he is going in for it. Takache immediately backs off, but thanks to the intel gathered from Forsaken with the Dimensional Drift, oh, it's so good. The perfect counter to Viper's Pit. But you know what else is a counter? Is Anthem on this off angle. Gets one, gets two! A third! Forsaken, he's trying to keep the dream alive. Anthem as well, going in for a peek, and Benkai onto a one-on-one. He's bagging for that teammate. Oh, a bit of a gate crash, but Anthem with the ace! Swaps to the classic to finish it off. DFM in the lead.
Unbelievable. Finally, one of these, 1v1s goes DFM's way, and it's Anthem who comes through with the ace. I love the way this is set up by Paper Rex. You nailed it, dude. The Dimensional Drift, arguably the best counter to the Viper's Pit in the game, and he can ping out where Takache is, set up Jing with that ult, but Anthem just starts feeling it, starts mowing them down. They try to jump swing out. He switches over to the pistol and the TP right into the crosshairs of Anthem.
And that just has to feel so good. This guy got an ace against Giants in their lock-in match as well. We expect to see a lot more from him. And here he comes, leading the pack on towards the C site. And if you're Paper Rex right now, you have to think, you have to consider, is this really a commitment to the C side? They're trying to listen for it, and it is.
Yeah, no doubter here. They are fully encamped on this C site. They're starting to push out to the angles. This could be a big fight coming through.
Mind Freak! Unfortunately, only good for one. DFM, the teamwork is good. The way that they push out together this time around, so much more coordination. It's tougher for Paper Rex to find those 1v1s. And even with a defender locked down into play, he saw his barrel, he saw his knee. Reita is gonna wallbang and nail Benkai down. It's 11-9, Clinton.
Whose snake bite was that? That landed right at Benkai's feet?
It's got Takache.
Where did that come from? I was like, wow, that's a really good snake bite.
Yeah,
I know, I was really impressed with it. I was like, oh my god. This is just, I mean, now you can see the DFM.
They're calling
yeah,
for it.
I know, they're
He's
calling,
there. Gotta love it.
I love it. Dude, I am thrilled with the way DFM is here. And it looks like they're 2 rounds away, man. It looks like we could be going to that fracture to map 3.
And wouldn't we love to see that? Too?
Yes.
Paper Rex.
I would love to see it. I know you're maybe a little more biased to the other direction.
Nah, man, I mean, it's all good games and fun, and Paper Rex right now on a bit of an eco. I hate to say it, but it probably will happen that this is going to go to match point. Not unless they kind of get a little bit interesting with it. Jing, though, takes quite a bit of heat, down to 21 HP, and Forsaken's trying to back him up. It's going to be that fake out that goes through, but I think DFM kind of expect it. They're not even shooting it. They're trying to play for that info. Forsaken just trying to get some info with that little bit of jump peek into a gate crash too.
Yeah, but this patience from DFM has confused Paper Rex. They think this is a pullback. They think that fake out should have garnered some kind of reaction.
Oh, you're so right. The rotations, no, Paper Rex.
Nope, they have no clue. This is now, and now you've got the trip wires in the back. Excuse me, the trap wires in the back to cover, for DFM. Suggest comes through with an ult that literally there's no one even remotely close for. So
it's
space cleared.
Yeah, it's an insurance plan. If anything, it kind of works out.
Better safe than sorry.
Exactly. So good for DFM. Even then, Paper Rex, they might. It's a 5 against 4, but there are 4 sheriffs, 1 bulldog. Maybe Mind Freak has the Cosmic Divide, but I don't think you use it this round.
I agree. I think you need to save it.
Trying to get additional intel too, but no.
All right, go.
They're going in for it. Jing. He's blast packed all over. Benkai getting a quick double. How is he doing this up by the stairs? Suggest trying to do what he can too, but Divide just comes up from behind. Paper Rex. They've come out of nowhere to find this Thrifty.
I'm speechless.
Oh my god, they stuck it too.
I'm speechless. I mean, insane. I cannot believe it. What a round here, and immediately the timeout button is pushed here by DTFM. I mean, you cannot be throwing this one away. A good opener for Jing with that Bulldog, one of the bigger values in here. How in the world?
Oh my god.
Jing, you absolute monster. Oh my god, this Cosmic Divide, well invested. I said maybe, normally you think you want to save those ults for your rifle rounds. I mean, the confidence here for Paper Rex still there despite the scoreline, still there despite DFM having one heck of a map. And it forces out the second time out from Detonation Focus Me. Dude, what a map we've got brewing here. This has been a good one.
You can just feel that tension too. That's just one hell of a way to break everything apart.
I don't feel any tension from Divide. He's like, every time I see him on camera,
the dude's
he's just vibing.
Zoned in.
I love it.
And Maliflovia is just like, all right, gotta go through my notes now. How do we do it? There's some kind of issue, I think, that they're trying to deal with.
Absolutely. I think they're just probably just kind of post-plant thought process. And I think frankly, the Cosmic Divide might have caught them off guard there. I don't think they were ready for it. I think they thought, well, they're probably just going to, full send it in here and see what they can get done. But there we go. Some DFM fans actually suggest fan, please win is basically what that sign says. So, like, there's definitely fans floating around. Again, like we said yesterday, a lot of Zeta fans flew in. I'm sure there's Detonation Focus Me fans. Detonation,
100%.
The biggest esports org in Japan. You look at their jerseys and it's littered with sponsors. So absolutely, they've got a fan base. Suggest, of course, brings him in as well since he's from Korea.
He's gotta come up with that win though. He's gonna deserve that praise, but oh my god, that is nasty. As soon as the toxic screen goes up.
That's amazing timing.
Oh gosh. And right now, they're just funneling straight into the B site, and I think Paper Rex are expecting this. They're prepared for this. The Seekers go out just by a bit more time. Fake out. And there's additional information as well, buying even more time. Suggest right outside pillars and hoping for that push to come through. In fact, it's going to be Reita that gets prepared for this. Quick double. Mindfreak getting the trade. Divine now in a fight of his own. Everyone surrounding the site, and DFM has backed up completely. What they might not know, though, is Divine, but oh my god, Sanfree! A bit of a jumping right click, and we're back to a 2-on-2. Paper Rex has to nail this, and it's gonna be Benkai! Spraying it down, 11-11!
Unbelievable. Reita gets 2 big kills at the beginning, and then it's Paper Rex Divide doing a great job buying time here. A great little guiding light at the feet of his opponents to give himself the ability to move back. Great, kind of positioning back and forth. Everybody pushing through here. Reita finds a great double with that Phantom, pushing right into the smoke. And Benkai, though, good at the end for 2 big ones. And Paper Rex, they're just dialed in. There's not much noise coming out of those comms. They're focused, man. I like it. They want to win this. They know that, they have a chance now tied up to end it.
And even the positioning towards the end of that, Mindfreak on the spike. Everything lined up for Paper Rex right now to send this to match point. But DFM trying to play it out on their own too. Conditioning Paper Rex to push out towards A with a toxic screen, but a little bit of noise towards the B side too. Everything's been smoked off, but they continue to push it past. Looking for that spike plant now.
Just re-aggressing now. A quick push here.
Oh my god, Jing. Oh my god, Jing. Unfortunately, whiffs. And unfortunately, Forsaken, okay, actually might be able to do something here. Quick double. And DFM completely evacuated the site. Wait, do we have lineups for this? It's just a simple one, but it's enough to put them off the spike. Device trying to do what he can to help with this, but the main problem here is Reita on the other side of the door. He's in the prime position just to take the heads off every single Paper Rex player right now. Defy comes up huge with a quick double, and here comes Reita again, back to one-on-one. Spike's been half, and it's all that one headshot he needs. He gets it, and the defuse. Paper Rex touching that match point. This could be it. How does their eco look? I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good.
Ice in the veins of Paper Rex today. So many of these 1v1s going their way. An incredible play once again from Divide. I like the way Forsaken plays this. He gets this double, and then the poison cloud pops up in front of him. He taps the spike, backs right up. That is absolutely disgusting, Divide. Free kill. There we go. There's a fist pump from Divide. There's some reaction.
this is, I mean, that quintessential teamwork again. In all of these retakes, it's how Paper Rex goes in together. Right now, though, oh god, eating the paint shells, not so great for Suggest. He's got an operator too.
My ult's ready.
I don't know about this, Clinton.
It's do or die. It's either, you know, match over or we go to overtime here for DFM. And, you know, Suggest a decent operator player. Now he's got some reinforcements behind him. You're going to leave Takajay on the other side to watch the map. Toxic screen over here to potentially set up this push. But Divine, we've seen him do it once. He does it again.
Oh my god. And now Forsaken comes in from behind too. All this information, all this juicy information. I know they're all here. Everyone from Paper Rex is prepared for this now. Forsaken just does a little bit more damage. We've got the numbers. We've got the positions. We've got map control. We don't have to overaggress this.
Now you got Ben Kai to deal with if you are going to be rotating into C, and you've got that Killjoy utility to try to work your way through. The Nano Swarms at the entry, the turret on the other side. DFM gonna make a go of it, and Takajay's right in the mess.
Ouch!
Ooh, he's gonna get a kill?
What?
Oh.
He does not care. He just walks past all of those and he finds Benkai. Now the site has been granted to DFM because of it. Paper Rex off a bit of the reaction. They might have to go for this retake off of Jinx Showstopper. You know it's about to happen, Clint.
Oh, it has to right here.
Here we go. Here comes that party. Oh my god, it goes back and back. Suggest unfortunately eating it though. Takajay now trying to outduel this, trying to buy that time. Set free off a bit of that flank. He gets one headshot. All that's left is Defy. Triple kill now, maybe the fourth, but Defy holds it down. One more player, one more click. Zenfree just biding time. Seeker sounding confirms it. Defy gets it halfway. He's sticking it. No way. Gets up at the right time. Defy 13-11. Paper Rex. They close this out 2-0.
Back-to-back huge rounds for Defy to bring Paper Rex back. They were down 11-9, and they swing 4 rounds together at the end of this to get the win. And Defy, I mean, that is just colder than ice right there. 2 rounds in a row. I am tickled with the way he played. Now, what a performance here from Paper Rex. They do get that expected 2-0 win, but I will say, Quack, that I thought Detonation Focus Me played a hell of a match here today.
I couldn't agree more. They did so much. I mean, even if you take a look at the stats that we have on our screens right now, Suggest who's doing so much, pulling his own weight. Zenfree trying to get creative with some of these plays with the Omen Shrouded Steps as well. But alas, when it comes down to it, that final Showstopper versus Showstopper face-off.
Oh god,
everything coming into, like you mentioned, Defy, right? Like, the man doesn't even flinch.
No. Look at this, he doesn't even react to this Guardian 3K. I would have, like, thrown my keyboard across the room and, like, popped off. Yeah, exactly.
He's like, just another day in the office.
Yeah. I mean, truly, Suggest, he popped off when he got that triple, and he had a great half. Anthem having a wonderful map here, 21-16, 15 assists. Absolutely, again, we saw some heroics from him at lock-in. We see it here again with another ace. A team effort from both teams. Really, really fun match. The Yoru had some interesting moments. I think we didn't get to talk about it a ton because the rounds oftentimes were fast and furious, but there were a few kind of tricky plays that he did in there, and we saw a few good things.
Operator.
It needs more work, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But still, nonetheless, a great showing from both teams. And it's just that 2-0.
Yeah, no, it is, dude. It was so close, though. I was so thrilled with how everybody played here today. A lot of great moments from just about every player. You know, Zenfree doing a lot of great things out of that Omen. I really like the way that they were using those paranoias, the way that he was using the TPs in particular, finding some valuable spots that was making it tricky for Paper Rex to accomplish the space taking that they wanted to get in the early parts of the round. So good at adaptations across both ends, but at the end of the day, Paper Rex just has a little bit more in the tank, a little bit better individual play is really what changed this match, in my opinion. Is the depth in talent in Paper Rex is just a little bit better right now than Detonation Focus Me, because again, it was, you know, so many 1v1s, 1v2s, 1v3s that Paper Rex was winning, whereas Detonation was not.
And that's that additional individual skill, I think. But that said, I mean, when it all comes down to it, this is a perfect way to open off day 2 of VCT Pacific.
Yeah, dude. What a fun day, and what a way for you to come in here to get to see a great match here with Paper Rex, your hometown team, and I'm tickled with this one. Yeah. Okay. Show it off. You got it. You're wearing it.
He gave me the shirt.
Your necklace is sick, by the way. I don't know if people can see this. He's got a sheriff on his neck. That's scary, man. He's the new sheriff in town for sure.
Oh my God, it's great games. It's great to be here, but of course we've got more coming up, don't we?
Absolutely, my friend. We still have yet another match to go, and maybe another tight series like we saw with T1 and GE yesterday. It's Talon and Team Secret.
Oh my God.
Excited?
I really am. I mean, we were kind of talking about this before. Paper Rex, great, right? Everyone loves them, but this one might be even closer.
Absolutely, my friend. Well, we're going to have to take a break and see what comes up next. Stick around, everybody. VCT Pacific will be back in a bit.
That's really exciting. We're going to A. Here comes Benkai and Mind Freak. Open the door. Open the door. And Forsaken is kicking off. It is kicking off.
There's another flash. Big kill from Antha.
Oh my God! He got right now. Even the third. Shooting off the Puma. Lockdown pushes them. Oh, and there's 3. Now 5. Walking through that cyber this time around, she's going to be teleporting on top. Oh! Ruffle, but not done. The spike is still here. There's so many players on this. I don't know about this one, though. She's aggressive still from the Oh, it's so good. The perfect counter to Viper's Pit. You know what else's counter is Anthem on the top angle. Get 1, get 2! The soulmate!
Even though for Euro fans like me, the Euro may not have been the central highlight of this match, Paper Rex is still able to take it 2-0. They take down DFM over on map 2 on Lotus. And once again, I mean, the aggression, it seems to work against DFM.
I mean, look, Paper Rex killed it, but I'm also excited here for Detonation. I mean, they really managed to hold their own. They didn't get smashed. They had not only a close series overall, but so many technical and fascinating little rounds inside that map too.
Yeah, this was, again, kind of what we're talking about during the pre-show. A close series from DFM versus PRX shows that improvement has been coming through. The swap putting Suggest over onto the Duelist, seemingly full-time. We'll see, obviously, if this is going to be consistent in their future series. But it seems to have delivered a lot more firepower to the squad. The Jet performance, a little bit rocky, but again, hasn't played it nearly as much. But the raise from Suggest is something that we were begging for. He ends up coming out of this. Across the entire series, across those two maps, played with an average of 289 ACS, 44 kills, giving him a +12 ending scoreline with 7-4 first kills, first deaths, and then 189 ADR throughout those maps. So Suggest the impact was absolutely found from him, and I think that with that as a new foundation for Detonation, they can continue to just build up and show us stronger performances and start raking in some wins.
I agree 100%. I don't think this would have been anywhere near as close had Suggest not done what he was able to do. And I think we really saw the rest of the team galvanize around Suggest back there. You know, when we went over map 1, we even showed a whole highlight reel of Suggest because we thought this was really the most exciting takeaway of from Detonation right now. But now it seems like the entire team has that synergy.
Sure, yeah. And of course, at the end of the day, we saw it even in the stats and the breakdown. I mean, a couple more clutches coming in from Paper Rex, and also just being able to really win the rounds they were supposed to, right? Detonation on their attack. They weren't able to really secure those rounds where they got the spike planted. So credit where credit is due. Detonation, they're looking better. Paper Rex, they're just able to eke out that last 2%. But since we're on the topic of Detonation, even though they lost, I mean, we had some very clean moments from them. I mean, some set plays which proved why they picked this Lotus against an opponent like Paper Rex.
Yeah, we're going to roll the clip in a moment, but I mean, it's a blink and you miss it round. Just complete and utter fantastic read with a set play over at C. You can see they're not even full stacking the site, but they've got 3 players in position, and they're just waiting for the moment. Pop Flash comes across the Paranoia as well, so they get the double blind out onto the members of PRX. The nade claims 2 from Suggest as Anthem just wide swings around the opposite side of Mount. And they just send them straight into the meat grinder. And it's everybody absolutely obliterated in 20 seconds into the round.
I mean,
it was gorgeous.
Instantly.
So it's a fantastic read to get the idea that, okay, Paper Rex is going to be coming into this position.
Yes.
We know that they're going to be rushing on this site. So they have good game sense. It's well executed. It's clean stuff. So clearly, you know, we were questioning how is the Lotus going to look for them. We've been kind of talking about, I've been talking about, you know, T1 looking good on it, finally debuting it. Detonation as well, looking very strong on this map. It's unfortunate that they're not able to push this into overtime or push this into a map 3.
Yeah.
It was very much the heroics from Divide, finding so many of those clutches to be able to keep Paper Rex in this and get the 2-0.
Yeah, again, I mean, that set play just alone, just the angles and the timing they had, and like you said, the read they had. The previous round, they actually defend on A site, so they make the read. They're probably going to try to poke at C again, so let's strike there. But on top of that, sure, Paper Rex, they eke out a couple more clutches and things like that, but we had some heroics coming out for Detonation as well.
This was a really exciting one. We had the Viper Pit set up here, Jing with the showstopper shot in there. We were backstage talking about, okay, if Detonation wins it, it might be off the back of this round, and for a little bit, it looked like it was just going to fail out, but Anthem coming through here and clutching so well. This looked like such an impossible situation, even pushing 5 HP there, and then gets the kill with the pistol.
Yeah.
One of the craziest rounds we've had out of all the games we've had so far this weekend.
I mean, Anthem was kind of just doing the wrong thing, and it ends up working.
Yes.
But he managed to stay calm in that position, whereas you can see like Forsaken clearly getting a little bit frazzled, doesn't have the gate crash set up to have him safely exit, so kind of delivers himself for that classic kill to come through. But I mean, he's pushing out. They already have the spike planted. No one's tapped it.
Yeah.
And he decides, I'm just going to insert myself into the middle of the site. We were screaming backstage. We're like, Anthem, what are you doing? Why are you playing in this position? But he just happened to close it out. So still, you know, a miraculous ace that he's able to scoop up. It was great to see. And like you said, that did really start making it feel like they were going to be able to take that map and that we would have Fracture coming up.
Yeah, we thought that, okay, this is going to be it. It's either going to be overtime or they're going to take it here, but they pulled it off.
Yeah, and of course on the other side, we talked about Device clutches, but there were a couple rounds, specifically I remember the one where Paper Rex had the eco, and Benkai just walked walks into the site on the retake, and he's able to get the double kills with the Sheriff. And, you know, him just being able to kind of hold that foundation for this team, right, and also able to lead this team as the IGL, he's been doing a good job. Sure, he may not have had the highest scoreline here, but having that Killjoy able to strike the sites or the retakes with his team has been a big plus here for Paper Rex.
Yeah, I believe, I'd have to go back and look at it, but I believe across both maps, Benkai comes out, you know, on top for the entire team. His performance just very much translated from one map to the other. We are feeling that impact from him. And I mean, the other thing that you always have to consider that we unfortunately can't really put down on paper, we can't make a statistic for it, is the IGL role.
Yes.
And being able to call. Because obviously, as things are getting more strenuous, as you have DFM that are pushing you, looking like they're going to be able to take you into that third map, being able to maintain the nerves and make sure that everyone's staying focused and is able to, you know, clutch things out, that very much falls on his shoulders. So he was able to get it done.
Well, speaking of Benkai, I think we have a chance to hear from him. And obviously, the most burning question we all have, I hope this is asked, is what happened to the costumes? I mean, did they make it to Seoul or not? But hopefully we get to hear from Benkai himself. We're going to go over to the stage to hear from the players themselves as Paper Rex takes this 2-0 victory over Detonation Focus Me.
Well, it's Paper Rex. They never fail to impress. I'm standing here with Paper Rex's Benkai. Congratulations, Benkai, on this win. I hope you're enjoying your time in Korea. But I gotta tell you, you really toned it down with the costumes and the walkout this time. So what are your plans for the walkout in the future?
Hopefully it will be a bit more flamboyant, I guess, because there's just too many games, you know, like for the league I need to plan like we have 8 confirmed games, so if I get into the playoffs, I have to think of even more workouts. So I'm just trying to like relax a bit because I don't think my luggage has enough space to put all those costumes.
Maybe I can get you something nice, I don't know. Well, I can definitely tell that you guys have been busy cooking something up, especially on Pearl. I mean, double duelists from Paper Rex, no surprise there, but Jet and Phoenix on Pearl, so you gotta talk to me about that comp.
I think we just, after Chamber got nerfed, we pretty much put Forsaken on Jet because this is next best agent on that map. And we thought that Phoenix was really strong and a really good suit for Jing because like the flashes are really good at it, especially on Pearl because there's so many like tight corners and stuff. So it just kind of complements our playstyle. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Forsaken there. We got to see him on the Yoru, right? The infamous Forsaken Yoru. Did you guys see something special or viable in this agent on Lotus? Or did you guys feel like Paper Rex was the only team that could eventually get away with Yoru on Lotus?
I'm pretty sure other teams will run it as well. Yeah, because it's really good for taking map control, especially on Lotus where it's like pretty huge, right? The rotations are really long. So we just thought having Yoru would help us with like manipulating rotations a bit more.
All right, well, your next opponent will be Team Secret, right? What's your mindset heading into that matchup?
Same as this one, I guess. Same as this one, I guess, just like one game at a time. Yeah.
One by one, right? Yeah, one step at a time. Well, that was Paper Rex's Benkai, everybody. We have Team Secret versus Talon Esports coming up. So, want to throw it over to the break?
Yes, we'll see you after the break. Please support these amazing APAC teams.
Zero distraction. Zero doubt. Zero opposition.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings. gives you wings.
For my playstyle in Valorant, I'm a bit crazy, but it's because that I'm really confident with my aim and my mechanic skill, and I can like do like some crazy move without people can predict my movement. So that's why I'm the superstar of the team and the craziest person in the team. Hello guys, my name is Jason Susanto and my in-game name is Forsaken and I play for Team Paperex. I think what I'm good at is like good at like utilities combo, like for example like Yoru flashbang, where do I want to updraft and dash, and I really like take the benefit of the utility so I can like kill people easily with my utility. Whenever I'm in the like clutch situation, I can really make some like 200 IQ move so that I can win the round.
If I could sum up his entire playstyle into one word, it's pretty much just aggressive. But it's well thought out in a way that it incorporates his entire team, so it doesn't really make him feel like one of those ego star players that just wants to get all the frags and thinks he can do everything by himself, which I feel makes him like a really good team player, and he's super talented.
Forsaken is the crazy guy. We all know him as the crazy guy who just loves to go in, has some really fast aim, he's got good flags, and the speed he brings, it's just so refreshing. When sometimes we're used to very methodical Valorant, which is fun to watch and break down, but sometimes you just want to see someone frag out. And if you're looking for someone that does that, it's gonna be Forsaken.
Jason's role in the team, we play two duelists, so his role is to really hunt for opening kills. If we're doing like a slower round, he has to coordinate usually whoever he's with to make sure that he can get into, because his playstyle is a bit flexible. And what he does well as a duelist is that he generally knows exactly where every piece of utility should go on other agents that enables him to like get into a very good position.
Game that we played against Fnatic in VCT Copenhagen, there was just one particular round on our defending side that Forsaken just decides to throw a Yoru TP through that smoke and just TP behind them and just like do like the most mega flank I've ever seen.
Try and hold it. Look out! He just TP'd right behind! Enzo has fallen for the trickery once again!
So it was like the one that really stands out to me when I think about like his plays.
I mean, in this VCT Pacific, it's like new challenge for me because I have to be in the Korea for like almost like 3 months plus. Now I live alone, which is I need to be like responsible with myself and I need to be like independent. But I think it doesn't matter for me because even from young, I'm always being a person that always responsible to something and being independent myself. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Super dependent little brother. It's a very big contrast between him in game and in real life because he literally doesn't know how to do anything in real life. So the only thing he knows how to do is play Valorant.
He's the youngest in the team, you know, so he's like everyone's little brother. The combo between him and Ting, you know, like they're both like a bit lost in the world, you know, like trying to figure out what's going on. I think everyone just treats him like a younger brother that's very like enthusiastic about everything, and it's just a very good personality to have around.
For this year, I want people to remember me as a #1 Yoru still in the world, and I hope that I can bring a lot of trophies and good memories for you guys. So I'm really hoping too that we can qualify for Turco and the champion as well. I hope we can make the dream come true.
Pearl is a beautiful underwater map, and the first map in Valorant to be set in nighttime. A main is home to a neutral ult orb, making it a popular spot of contention. Mid is split into 2 pathways, Art Room and B-Link. B-Link can be easily defended with agents like Viper, whose Poison Cloud can create a constant one-way smoke. Art Room is slightly easier for attackers to target, making it a hot spot to control. Killjoy or Cypher utility will still try to keep the attackers at bay, but if the attackers break through, the area opens up Crossfire into A site while pressuring mid and additional access to B-Link. Meanwhile, B-Site is the operator's home ground, a delight for any marksman worth their shot. Even if you somehow get past the operator, there's still the challenge of clearing B-Hall. Attackers will need to combo area of effect utility, like the various mollies in the game, along with coordinated pushes into Hall to pinch and safely clear the area before they plant. One of the newest maps to the pool, Lotus, is the second 3-site map in Valorant. Much like Haven, the choice of 3 sites gives an edge to the attackers. You have A, with a hut allowing multiple safer plant locations. B, a tiny site with diverse elevation. And C, a small plant location that can also be held from C Mound. One of the biggest hot zones for Lotus centers around A main. Once attackers have control, they gain access to not only A site, but 2 additional options to strike A or B. Attackers will find value in pushing up to the ult orb to create this pressure alongside the rotating door, and defenders will often use aggressive utility like paint shells or fault lines to take control of rubble, after which they can smoke off lobby to shut down the entire area.
Cause we found love, baby, come closer. We don't need to waste no time. We want the same, but used to be lonely. Give me a different vibe, yeah. Keep the faith, let's take it slowly. You're the reason I'm still going. Take a breath, it feels good, don't it? Trying to see the things you told me. I miss the days we didn't have to say goodbye. Wait before the flashing lights. I miss the haze when you used to text my line. But baby, I'ma be just fine. It's not quite the way we wrote it, but let's just enjoy the moment. And that's just the way the air's blowing. And there's not much to do to stay focused. Then you went away, just when I started to move on. But anyway, no, I didn't know anymore. Did I need to stay? Cause you had me thinking that I should go. Cause how was I ever gonna feel at home? I'm sorry, but baby, I had it. Cause we found love, baby, come closer. Don't need to waste no time. We want the same, but used to be lonely. Give me a different vibe, yeah. Keep the faith, let's take it slowly. You're the reason I'm still going. Take a breath, it feels good, don't it? Trying to see the things you told me.
Tell me, have you found your love, found your love, found your love, yeah. You gotta let me know, no, 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 no. Tell me, tell me.
Cause we found love, baby, come closer. Don't need to waste no time. We want the same, but used to be lonely. Give me a different vibe, yeah. Keep the faith, let's take it slowly. You're the reason I'm still going. Take a breath, it feels good, don't it? Trying to see the things you told me. You gotta elevate. I might be long or I might come right home, even if I'm alone, baby. You gotta elevate. We made up. I told you to get away. You know I've been fed up. I said it before. It feels like we've been fading, cause in your stupid games. And I don't wanna wait more, but girl, you should know, baby, I love you so.
Cause I'm hungry like I never ate. No more crumbs, need a bigger plate. Stakes is high, got expensive taste. Dinner time, so get out the way. What you know about that hunger? 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 Cause I'm hungry like I never ate. No more crumbs, need a bigger plate. Stakes is high, got expensive taste. Dinner time, so get out the way. What you know about that hunger? 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 Cause I'm hungry like I never ate. No more crumbs, need a bigger plate. Stakes is high, got expensive taste. Dinner time, so get out the way. What you know about that hunger? 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 What you know about that hunger?
Welcome back, everyone. We are continuing with day 2 of VCT Pacific. Now, we just watched APAC have a good start to Pacific. PaperX winning somewhat expectedly, but 2-0, right, in PaperX fashion. Very aggressive. W Gaming coming out against Detonation Focus Me. But now, at least one APAC team does have to lose as they're going to face off against each other. Our match number 2 for the night is going to be Talon versus Team Secret.
Yeah, this is a really exciting one. I mean, both teams kind of surprised us with some of their performances over at Lock-In. Talon in particular making a very deep run, challenging DRX, taking them all the way to a map 3, which was, what, like a 13-10 scoreline on 2 of those maps. So this is a very strong team, and we weren't sure how things were going to go for them because there was some new faces on this team, and well,
wait, hold on.
He's not really a new player, a new face, but he's certainly filling up the frame. Patty's going to be starting as Sushi Boys is going to be on the bench.
Yeah, a lot of people thought, I mean, sure, now with Garnett's doing so well at Lock-In, who do you pick between Garnett's and Patty, or Pat, as he's now being preferred to be called? But they're actually saying, well, why not both?
Yeah, they're bringing him back in. Pat, recovering from a wrist injury, having that surgery, but it looks like he's able to play, he's able to function. This is exciting. The question now is going to be, how's he going to perform? Is he in shape? Is he ready? Because we know if that wrist is working, he's usually pretty damn good.
Okay, I mean, just on the off chance that we were going to be seeing him, I went ahead and prepared this. It's been 471 days since we have seen Patty play in a VCT event, or just generally anything that's tracked by VLR. It's been 471 days since this guy has played. It's been a damn long while. It was when they got eliminated from Champions all the way back in 2021 by Gambit.
Yeah, they were on a different org, right?
They were
different
still
banner.
with X10 at that time, and then obviously things have changed. Then they became Sersha. Patty left, joined a different esports league, retired again, and now is back here once more. So it's been a damn long while, but this does cause some questions as far as what are they going to be running. Is it going to be a double duelist setup for these guys? Is Garnett's going to be flexing over and covering Sushi Boys' role? I really don't know. All I can surmise is that Patty's going to be playing Jet.
Well, yeah, right now, the only thing we can guess is clearly the team has been scrimming some type of new formation here, and also this brings a question to what the map draft is going to look like. But let's now talk about the other side of the roster, right? I mean, Garnett's was doing so well over at Lock-In, and he helped really put up these incredible score lines against these international teams at Lock-In.
Yeah, it was really cool to see how well they pulled everything off in Lock-In. We were talking backstage about this. This could be maybe even the second best team if they're able to deliver here. And the fact that they've got I don't want to say a new player on board, an old player back, I guess is the better way to say it. That's really exciting to see.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of just have to give that to them. We have to give them that credit. They looked incredibly clean. 2-0 against MIBR, then into a 2-0 versus EG, eliminating them from the tournament. And they were looking like a team that was going to be able to, potentially make a deep run. And then they pushed DRX to the very limits all the way into a Game 3, claiming a map off of them. So clearly, I mean, the research from Talon throughout the Lock-In tournament was absolutely crisp. The performances from those rookies was fantastic because, Chit Boys, Garnets had barely really been on a stage in general, let alone one in front of a crowd that is actively cheering against you and booing you. Because obviously everyone was rallying around MIBR, but they did a damn good job of persevering through all that extra pressure. They utilized it. We're talking about this, can you harness that and use it as a motivator, or will you let it crush you? Talon absolutely did not.
And the thing about that is that when you get a new player, or two new players actually, coming into an environment like that, that is literally the most pressure-filled environment.
Oh, yeah.
Massive live audience that is wanting you to go down. They're booing. I mean, you could not have a tougher crowd. Brazilian crowds, they cheer, but they also boo.
They do.
And
they're booing when the watch parties were on.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're just very passionate about their own teams.
Yes.
So credit where credit's due. But this is what Talon had to face, and they were able to overcome that. Then they were able to overcome EG, and then almost overcome the mountain that was DRX. So just a huge improvement. And now with Patty coming back, what does that look like? We'll have to wait and see. But before we get too deep into that roster and what they've accomplished, because there was a lot we can unpack there, their opponents also had a pretty good showing over at Lock-In. It's going to be Team Secret, and they also had a couple of their own roster changes coming in.
No, they did. I mean, these are two teams that, have undergone some changes. We have two newer faces compared to, the last times that we've gotten to see them at international events. Secret in particular, we've got Envy, we've got Jeremy here joining in the original core of Jesse Bash, Dubstep, as well as Borkum. So the old men of the roster is still very much here and still very much performing. But I want to see a little bit more, because while Secret did look good at lock-in, I'm not necessarily fully convinced that they're going to be at a similar level as Talon. Talon were able to go ahead and contend with very dangerous opponents, whereas Secret, they took down Team Liquid, a team that came in being very hyped up, that looked completely and utterly out of sorts, and then they lost to Na'Vi. So I need to see a little bit more from them. If they can go ahead, challenge Talon here, if not beat them, then consider me completely impressed.
I think the thing with Talon is that they seem to be just more battle tested, right? Team Secret, obviously they're good, but you know, going up against TL, obviously it's a legendary esports franchise, but I don't think they look that strong, and so it's very hard to gauge a team like this until you
miserable.
Yes, that's probably
yeah, Team Liquid.
it's probably
we'll just say it like it was.
More honest way to put it.
So
but
wet blanket.
You need to have a team that might be you know, a better watermark here, and I think we're going to see that here from Talon. But if this is close, or if Team Secret wins, it's going to be a pretty incredible plot twist in today's show.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk a little bit more about their performance at Lock-in, because I think you guys put it perfectly, right? Whereas Talon, we can really put this in relativity compared to how they did. Obviously, they played an extra match as well, but then Team Secret, it was like they played against a team that ended up looking very weak, and then they played against a team that looked very, very strong.
I mean, Na'Vi prior to, you know, their kind of like flattening performance at the very end were potential tournament favorites. You know, that FPX core plus CNET, a world champion in his own right, was a dangerous team. So you can excuse the loss here for the side of Team Secret. So it's just hard to gauge where they're at. What I can say is that especially in their match versus Team Liquid, even though TL was making some bizarre decisions and kind of handing the match over to them, the fundamentals from Secret still looked very good. Jesse Vash, with his shot calling, very crisp, very much on point. Another question that we had for the team as we got ready to move into this matchup was, how is Dubstep going to fare now that he has shifted over into the Sentinel role? Because formerly, the last time that we saw them in international competition in 2021 Champs, he was obviously the Jet player. He was going for those fast, you know, quick hits, rushing out with the tailwind and just trying to pick off 1, 2, 3 people at a time. So it seems like he has widely fallen into that role quite well. The Fade, the Killjoy, both looking strong from him. So I like that the fundamentals are good here for the team. The aim is still very solid, especially for Jesse Vash, who is, you know, tied as the oldest player in the VCT world globally.
We got one of our boys in there.
Yeah.
We've got one of us.
One of us is in there.
It still looks really good. I just need to see a little bit more.
I'm glad you brought that up in terms of the IGLing and the aim, because this applies to both teams, actually. What we saw at Lock-in was Jesse Vash, one of the older members of Team, or the oldest member of Team Secret, IGLing and improving his aim. But then on the other side, Cruz now moving over to IGL, moving over to Controller, and his aim also improving over at Lock-in.
Yeah, we are going to have to see with a lot of these players switching into these roles how that's going to work. It's important to note that Team Secret, they've stated that they really do like to face off against better teams. They would prefer that than having easy matchups. So I think this is really, even though it should be tough, I think that's fair to say, it's also a great opportunity for them, and I think they can really harness that.
Yeah, I mean, when we had the face-off, you know, press conference a couple days ago, we did get to feature Jesse Vash and Patty together.
Right.
We had them, you know, sit down together in a video while eating some spicy food, and they actually had some really good conversations. And it was actually Patty who said to Jesse, you know what, like, people say that aim, you know, your age can correlate to your aim, to your reactions and whatnot. And he said, I don't believe in that. This is coming from a younger player. So he's actually bigging up Jesse Vash completely unasked for, you know, on his own volition. And he's saying, I don't believe in that. I also believe that as you get older, obviously you're going to get smart about how you play the game. You're going to be able to take more in. And he was just very much showing respect to Jesse, saying, like, I know that you are still a very dangerous opponent, because while most people might dismiss you because they say, like, you know, he's not going to be able to compete with these 17, 18-year-old kids who are coming out, much like Patty, who is quite young.
Still very young.
No, I'm never going to underestimate you. So I think that this is going to be an absolute crazy series.
I'll tell you what, I think that's a wise decision. You know, esports itself as a concept is very young, but even in the very, very earliest esports, people thought, oh, you couldn't be a professional gamer into the age of like 22. Okay, then we saw these people move all the way through their 20s as professional players. Now we have, in a game like Valorant and many others, people into their 30s. We're probably going to see another decade after that of people into their 40s. It does seem to be a thing that's getting dispelled.
Yeah, well, it is, again, like you said about the smarts, right? Because sure, your reaction speed matters in a game like Valorant, but also if you just know what angles to hold or where to expect your enemies, your aim can still be just as good. The results won't change as long as you still get that kill, right? So there's just two kind of different methods of how you can go about it. Well, these two teams, they've kind of proven similar improvements against different opponents over at Lock-in. We're kind of talking as if they're on a similar level. Where are we kind of leaning towards in terms of predictions here? We'll go first with you, Jason.
I'm going with Talon for this one.
Yeah? Oh, you sound pretty confident of
Captain
that.
Careful over here. No, I think it's a safe bet. I mean, it would be, again, I'm always welcome to be proven wrong, and I think that's very exciting. But from everything we look at now, I think Talon's a safe bet, but I think Team Secret, you know, best of luck to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the same boat when I made the prediction. It sounds like you are as well.
Yeah, again, it's just about the information that we have. We had that initial eye test. If Secret had been able to take down a tougher opponent, maybe push Na'Vi a little bit more, take a map against them, I might favor them a bit more in this scenario. But just given what we have seen from Talon and what they did at Lock-In, now they also have Patty back. Obviously, that is a little bit of a curveball. I would think that that is going to be a boon for them, just given how cracked of a player he is. I just have to favor them based on what we have seen. But with Patty in the mix, who knows? Maybe this, maybe the wheels fall off somehow.
Exactly.
Or the wrists fall off. Who knows?
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not the wrist. But, I mean, the fact that Patty's playing, sure, we've all seen what he's capable of, individually, mechanically. And clearly the team believes in that skill being so valuable that they actually put him in place of their kind of go-to Sentinel player, right? Sushi Boys is off of the roster here for map number 1. We're not sure. I mean, maybe they're playing, I don't know, something like Fracture where they could play very aggressively, or Lotus, who knows?
Yeah, again, is it going to be that double duelist, or is it going to be Garnet's, taking over that role? What is the composition going to look like? This is definitely, all bets are off the table right now, so I don't really know what is going to happen, but I do want to say that this is another opportunity to see if somebody's going to give us a nice little walkout, because Benkai, unfortunately, wasn't able to deliver with a costume, but if you remember all the way back to Patty's debut, he came out like he was a gorilla in the middle of the jungle, just leaping across the stage. So I'm curious to see if he's going to have some more flair like that.
Yeah, a little opportunity here for Pat to really make a kind of star return here as he's walking onto stage here in Seoul.
Yeah, let's see what he brings out here. I would like to see some crazy ceremonies, but we got many, many weeks to come. So
we do.
We're going to be getting something exciting in one of these days.
You can always pocket it for the playoffs.
Just for everyone. I mean, Benkai also apologized. He's like, we have so many matches, right, that we have to take care of.
How many outfits can I bring?
So that's something we can all look forward to, hopefully, towards playoffs. If not, I mean, one of these teams who makes it to Masters Tokyo, I'm sure will take on that mantle. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the players as they get onto the stage. It's going to be match number 2. Here in day 2 of VCT Pacific, it's an APAC show-off between two teams. It's Talon going up against Team Secret.
Face.
Foxy from Talon Esports going up against Borkum from Team Secret. Garnets from Talon up against Dubstep of Team Secret. The two IGLs, it's Cruz versus Jesse Vash. Two youngsters on each squad, Jit Boys up against Jeremy. And last but definitely not least, it's Pat and Envy on either side as these two teams face off in their first match of BCT Pacific. It's Talon Esports versus Team Secret. An APAC showdown, and First of all, Talon looks like they're ready to enjoy the stage here. Of course, the coach is walking out to round things out here. Zeus going up against Warbirds. Of course, both of them having their own merits, because Zeus has been with this core for a very long time for Talon.
Not only has he been with the core for a very long time, but he's obviously also helped deliver them. I mean, Pat's just like ready.
Penny was ran off there. That was really funny.
But he's what a coach. He's able to wrangle his players and get them in line. He's obviously been at. He's tied right now for going to the most international events alongside the likes of Termi, another legendary coach that we have out here in APAC. There's been so few that have been able to say that. Owner, another one that has been to so many international events. Mini from Fnatic. So very storied, very much experienced. So I think they're going to feel right at home when it comes down to playing in front of a crowd.
Yeah, and over here for Team Secret, I mean, we talked about this earlier, but this is really their chance to actually go up against a team that has got all that experience. They've been play tested, battle tested. They're going to come in here, and if they can deliver, they're going to be showing a lot of promise for this league.
Yeah, again, I mean, I think the biggest question mark, and not to take any focus away from Team Secret, but again, is just what does the map look like? What do the Asian pick looks like right now for Talon? I mean, you're bringing in Garnets, who has definitely proven that he has a kind of the awareness to make his own plays, to create space, to play smart for his teammates as a duelist. But now you're bringing back Pat, the star player across a different esports titles, to probably take on the duelist role. So what does Garnets play? What maps they pick? We're about to find out.
It's especially interesting to see how exactly Pat's going to approach this and what kind of condition he's going to be in. You know, you were saying earlier, Achilles, it was like over 400 days since we had seen this guy in an actual match. And so it's almost like they've got this wild card player now that, you know, we don't really know where he's at in the game, but there certainly wasn't any information for over a year about how he plays, thinks, or anything of the sort. So this is going to be fun. The question is also, when you have that much time off from the competition, are you able to bounce back into action?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to just wait and see what happens. But I'm right there with you, William, as I wait to see what this map draft is going to be. I still got to get used to you changing your name. But what this map draft is going to look like. But this is already a bit surprising, because Haven was one of the most consistent maps that we saw from Talon in their initial 2 series. Didn't play it versus DRX. I think that would have been ill-advised given their proficiency for the map. But versus EG, versus MIBR, we saw them play it twice, and it was looking damn good. I mean, you think back to Cruz going crazy, finding, you know, that 4K, playing the Omen, gets himself into mid-window, and it's just pounding. That was happening on Haven, so I find it curious that they banned that away.
Well, you got to wonder as well, with an event like this, where it's going to be week after week after week, maybe they want to save that map for some of the more important matches. Some of the teams that really might have, you know, higher stakes there.
I mean, the other side of that could very well just be that they both respect Secret on that map, but they also might feel like that they have already shown quite a bit of tape of it, so maybe they want to shift away and go for some maps that they haven't gotten to show too much of, and Ascent now is going to be coming out.
This is interesting, just because, I mean, we were suspecting probably a double duelist, but a map like Ascent that's very kind of defender-sided. We haven't seen double duelists for quite some time here on Ascent.
Well, I almost wonder if the Ascent pick is one of just comfort and the fact that this map has been around for so long. And I would imagine from Talon's perspective, after the experiences they've already had, they might want to come in here and just try to have a game that's safe and comfortable and just kind of mechanically outplay the opposing team.
I mean, it very well could be, but I mean, you look at the maps that were played and where things should be potentially comfortable. You know, Haven taken away is odd, but Ascent was one of the maps that they lost to DRX. It was a 13-6, so not even that close. But it seems like with Patty coming back in, they really want the map that kind of epitomizes Jet play, which is Ascent. So they're going to be going for it. But now into the second round of bans, as it's going to be split, taken off the board.
All right, so I was just about to say Lotus is still available, but Team Secret says, nah, we've seen Lotus once today, that's enough. We're going to take it out of this
Lotus
best of
every
3.
day.
That's right.
We've already had our share. To wait for tomorrow, Genji RQ, Lotus will come up.
Yeah, we do still have yet another day here for week 1 of VCT Pacific, but of course, if we do go to map 3 here between these two teams, once again, it's going to be Fracture. That's the last map available.
Fracture is going to be a fun one for these two teams. If we do go to game 3, it means it was close enough to be 1-1, which is going to be exciting because it means Team Secret is already delivering. Fracture, though, a crazy map. Should be a lot of fun with these two guys if they do manage to get far enough to have them duke it out on that.
Yeah, I mean, didn't really touch on it. Just kind of was we're talking about what this means, how they're going to try to pilot this ascent, but Icebox is going to be the second map. It makes sense for Secret to select that. It has historically been a strong map for them. It's also the first map that they were able to take away from Team Liquid with a 13-8 scoreline. So they have some recency on it. Their defending side looks absolutely incredible. It was a 10-2 half, and Liquid, they ran it back a little bit to be able to find those additional 6 rounds once they had gotten onto that defending side, but widely it looked incredibly clean from the side of Secret. So I am curious to see how they fare again, because we do have tape on them as we go into that map.
And I was about to say this because I do remember back in the day, sometimes Pat would play Sage on Ascent. He would really utilize those walls for himself to create these unique angles where he can help play aggressively. That leaves Jett still open for Garnets.
But that's not even what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Dubstep going over to the Jett once again.
You are correct.
We were talking about how he has fallen into this Sentinel role quite well, but Dubstep is going back for the El Clasico. He's busting out the Jett once more.
It's gonna be very interesting to see Pat over here on the Sage. I think this sort of adds up from everything else we were talking about. Kind of bring it back old school on an older map, oldest agent, right? Or one of the original agents, I guess you could say. This should be an interesting map here from Talon.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting. I mean, Pat coming back alone, but then him playing the Sage, which allows them to still play the Jett over for Garnets. But as you mentioned, Achilles, Dubstep returning to his core role of the duelist. I mean, he used to have this pride of, even as a boomer, I can play that Jett just as well as any of these youngsters. Well, this is a very good test because we saw what Garnets could do over at Lock-In in Sao Paulo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be map number 1 between these two teams in a best of 3. It's Talon Esports versus Team Secret as they strive to see who can get that first win here in BCT Pacific. We're ready for the game. We'll head over to the stage with the casters to break this down on Ascent.
Thank you very much, Desk. I mean, it's basically what they're alluding to, right? This is that APAC clash. Team Secret versus Talon. Hey, I'm Quack. This is Paper Thin. I mean, dude, what do you think of the comps we've got?
I love it. And also, I mean, I like that Talon is going with something interesting, and I believe Patty was playing Sage at Masters 2021 in Reykjavik. I believe, and I'm pretty sure that that was a match that Achilles and I were casting together there, and he nailed it, right? He likes to do some plays where he sets himself up with these TikTok-y walls. We'll call them that, for lack of a better term, but I'm curious to see how they want to approach this. So 2 very different comps. Excited to see Dubstep back on Jett. I think he's a very talented Jett player, could really have some high impact. Jesse Vash, I'm always going to have my eyes on him right now because of the way he performed at Lock-In. He was an absolute monster all over the map, having huge impact, not just with his IGLing, but with his gunplay.
Yeah, a little bit of a team cheer that we're hearing as well. I think to me, this team comp is really saying that, like, this is the classic sort of Ascent comp, right? We were talking about it a little bit during the Desk segment. Team Secret, it's something that they're used to. It's a little bit more comfortable, and it's something that they can play off of. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Talon, with all of these plays like Astra, you've got the Patty on Sage, Fox on Fade, they're setting up for some interesting strats, and we're just about to see that happen. Perhaps the Sage wall boost right up by the alt orb, and already Garnet's dashing straight in. But of course, Jesse Vash up by Logs wasn't quite cleared. That Frenzy is going to do some damage. Dubstep up by Market 2. They are just holding it down. Talon, this is not quite what we were expecting to see. They're dashing in blindly, and all it takes is a few more clicks for that flawless pistol win.
Yeah, just a really, really nice, solid start here for Team Secret. Everybody's kind of in the right place, doing their job. Dubstep holding down Market. You got Jesse there at the alley. Phenomenal shooting from him. Everything you want to see here from Secret from the beginning. It's going to be a little bit interesting for Talon on this attacker side without the Sova, trying to get information, trying to set each other up. Got the Fade to maybe try to set up your Jett. You've got that wall for Patty. I thought maybe he might go for put the wall on the box and get up to the windows.
That's what I thought too.
I was watching for that to see if he did it. Didn't happen this time around, but there's a lot of interesting things you can do to play off of each other with this Talon comp. I think they're going to be lacking a bit compared to Team Secret's more traditional comp, is that Sova information, that ability to kind of, send out those recon darts, send out those drones, and find out what's going on around the map a little bit better. So Talon's going to have to really have their teamwork down to a T for me to have a successful attacker side here.
Exactly. It's all about that coordination. I mean, especially when you have something like Fade, you only have that one little second. As soon as you throw out that haunt, your opponents are going to be prepared for it. So Team Secret, on the other hand, what they're doing right now, classic default, not making a single move, not making a single sound. They were just waiting for that tell from Talon.
I like the double marshals. Yeah, with Borkum, I think this is you know, a good position to be in. You've got that TP for a bit of a pseudo escape if needed, but now he's got Jesse reinforcing off the sound cue there of that Alt Orb. Envy going to be holding down a tree area, and as a few players start to rotate their way through, undetected so far for Talon, but the forces of Team Secret seem to be positioned to at least do some damage.
30 seconds left. They're just waiting for it. It's a good position, and they hear everything that's happening right at their footsteps, right underneath their noses. All it takes is for that collapse to come through. Jesse Vash, 2 Marshall shots, his teammates here to back him up, and all that's left is going to be Cruz. Only a classic in hand, maybe 1 kill, not quite sure where to look. It's going to be Envy up by the mouth of A main to seal the deal.
I mean, back-to-back flawlesses here to start for Team Secret. That's a hell of a statement here to make. I mean, I think a lot of people favoring Talon. Now, my prediction here was actually Team Secret. The one they posted might have been a little bit inaccurate, but that's okay. I predicted them in the pre-show video that we put together, me, Cobra, and Achilleos. And I thought Team Secret here has a real chance, and I had a chance to talk to both of these teams before the match today. First of all, Cruz, you know, he had that issue with his eye, the Bell's palsy. He's doing okay. He said he feels much better, maybe like 90%. He said it doesn't seem to really affect his vision when he's playing the game, so he feels that in the game he feels pretty comfortable, so that's really nice to hear. I'm really happy for him. On the other side of the coin, Team Secret, pretty interesting. Like, you know, for them the big focus today was teamwork, was like the key word that I would say they used in my talk with them, and a kind of a little bit of a funny, spicy thing they said was felt like Talon maybe a little bit overrated coming into today. Maybe a little bit.
Well, we'll see if that actually is indeed true, because if these rounds continue the way that they are, it just might be true. Talon continuing to push on through right now. They do have the rifles. They're trying to make it work, and it's going to be Garnet dishing out the damage to start. Already on for the 3K.
Jesse just jumping at him. I love it. Garnet's the good reaction.
Instantly flicking upwards, tracking down, right? I mean, like, I know what you're trying to go for, but sometimes it's just a little bit too wild for my taste. And of course, Cruz setting up for the right time, pushing past the door and up the glass.
Oh, a double headshot there. Absolutely nasty from Cruz, picking up right where he left off at lock-in. A lot of those lurk plays, a lot of those cheeky off angles that he likes to take to find some value. Garnet's here with a great haunt to set him up for the first kill. Pushing around the corner, Envy actually gets the dink on him there, but still the gun advantage. Garnet's able to find the drop down on the Jesse, and then Cruz. Ooh, that is good.
Awesome.
You love to see that.
Need to see more of those smart plays for sure. And this is what we're talking about with this comp. They are able to play together just like that. Again, Cloudburst up and everything. The Haunt giving additional information. They have mid control. Jesse Vash is pinned down, and this is a free kill for Talon. A lot of space for them to push into the B site.
Borkum and Envy trying to flank around the side of this, but they're a little bit late to the party, and they're going to get backstabbed. Oh. Yeah, this is done.
Nasty.
Fox is good for it, dude. Now there's a flawless, another flawless on the board. This time it's Talon. 3 out of our 4 rounds have been flawlesses, Quack.
It's just back-to-back. That's why this is the APAC Clash. That's why it's these 2 APAC teams. They both are confident in their own rights. They both think each other are like overrated. We're gonna fight, and we're gonna dish it out.
Good flash here to set up Garnet, just push out, and then Jesse just stuck in the corner.
That lurk.
Yeah, of course, the lurk, and you know, again, just a little bit too late to get there. Our Borkum and Envy trying their best, but things were just too fast for Talon. Just knocking them down one by one and opening up the map for themselves. But
oh my god,
they're really pushing the pace here. Is Talon, but look at this, a push out, and it's taken care of by Jip Boys.
Classic, and everyone's working together. They're shooting down the recon dart, looking in multiple ways. Pat just leading in towards a different part of the map too. They already have market control, and once this is sealed, all they need is to block off the remaining entrances, and that's only going to be defender spawn because of this wall.
Yeah, this is another annoying thing about Sage. And yeah, you have to give it away that you're trying to come up and over.
Okay.
Okay. Got one.
Nice bit of damage.
Yeah, you'll take those. Yeah. being tricky with his utility there. Good up and over. The good timing with the dash to reset. You take those, right? As a Jet player, I mean,
whatever you
anything
can.
Find, right?
One more ult point.
Yeah, God, that's the best part. A little extra cash. Get those blade storms online quickly. Good opener here, but Garnets is really doing a great job on the point of attack. He's had some big openers for them.
I definitely do think that this is something that Team Secret needs to look out for, especially on the defensive side. Talon has these contact plays prepared. Whenever they go down mid, if A short's smoked off, and you're not contesting for market, you're not really doing anything much, you're going to have to prepare for that B split. And that's what we've seen happen the past few rounds. This time, back into A, just a little bit of utility. Borkum already spending both dark covers, and that's going to leave a little bit of room for Talon to potentially explode through.
Yeah, just an early ult orb securing for the side of Talon. They've got some big ones here. They've got that. They got that no command. It's really a really nice one to have in the back pocket potentially. We'll see if they pop it, or if they're going to maybe save it for the dubstep ult potentially. If he gets into that.
An operator too.
Yep. Dubstep's got that ult, that operator. That's huge.
Of course, they're playing so defensive. They want to make use of whatever they've got. Talon are just rushing in, and of course, that's the wall that you were talking about before. It allows him to take down Jeremy, but then again, at the same time, you've got pushes coming out through mid, coming out through A. A little bit of contest towards every single site, but this is something that you don't expect. The shorty inside of that dark cover. Instant point blank shot towards Jesse Vash's face. And we're down to a 4-on-3.
Tough retake coming. Envy needs to find a big kill here.
Gonna try to scout out a little bit more information. Confirms it. The flash is good. Even better as he gets the quick double. Garnets, though, again, both of them inside a boathouse. All they have to do is peek at the right times, the right good shots, and it's going to happen. Back to a one-on-one. Borkum! Close and personal with the Phantom. He is able to burst it down.
I said Envy needed to have a good entry. Well, he did better than that. He got a great flash and got 2 kills to get himself in there, and that opened the doors for Talon. Like you said, for Team Secret, locked Talon into the boathouse. Unbelievable play here. A nice attempt from the side of Garnets. They're able to get the res onto him. Fox doing a good job pushing through that smoke. This flash is brilliant. I mean, you can see Patty just has no idea that Envy is right in front of him. And Borkum gets that position revealed and able to catch Garnets jumping. Really nice play here by Borkum.
It's one of those things, the heat of the moment. You try to do whatever you can, but sometimes you just get caught out lacking. And now early information gathered, of course, by the 0 point as well. They already have this crossfire set up, one by the alley, one by logs.
Face your fear.
Oh my gosh, Talon continues to push through this. I don't know. But Garnets doesn't care, just dashes in. Suddenly a quick double. Jesse Vash answers through. And then the trade from Jit Boys. They're already rotating off of this, though, because they know they have the numbers advantage.
Yeah, that's a really good point. They know that now they can, at worst, have a 1v3 here if they shift off. You know, there was the threat that it could be 2v3. Oh, Jeremy.
Footsteps.
All right, pops the nano. They're going to wait it out. Oh, he gets the kill.
And he just blocks them off. This is good enough, but now we're down to the 1-on-2. Borkum makes it a 1-on-1. Paranoia buys a little bit more time, and now Cruz can't hear a single thing. He's not entirely sure if he's coming from heaven or door, so that's why he's shooting it down. Is
got
he
time to
going
rotate? Yeah.
Faked it.
30 seconds left.
Faked it. Oh, Cruz is so smart, dude.
No way.
Oh, this is just brilliant. Oh, he's looking for the lurk. Oh my God.
Got 20 seconds.
Yeah, well, he's gonna check heaven to make sure that Borkum didn't stick around. So this is really smart. This is, you know, he has plenty of time to do this.
Right out of earshot.
And now he knows it's open. He 100% knows it's clear that he has enough time to plan. So smart from Cruz. So smart.
This guy, ever since Champions last year, he's been so hardworking. This isn't even his final form. What a big brain play, and now he has that little extra time to play around with the positioning. Borkum has no idea it's point blank range, but no! Turns away at the wrong time!
Oh, man. I'm heartbroken. I mean, a great play by Borkum. Back-to-back clutches. for him. And what a shot of adrenaline here for Team Secret. Much needed to turn this one around, but goodness gracious, Cruz played that so well, and he just got the timing wrong. Oh man, I am blown away with what I'm seeing here from both teams. A great match already. You know, Garnets has been beautiful on these entries. Jesse picking up right where he left off at lock-in with a big double. And then Borkum clean and crisp with this Phantom. This time, gonna see the gun. And yeah, Cruz was maybe hoping that he'd try to come from heaven, and Warbirds, a sigh of a relief and a pump there. I feel that.
And I feel you too. I mean, you can just hear it in your voice, Clinton. Like, it's one of those things, those one-on-ones, you're never quite sure where your opponent's going to come from. He could come from heaven. He could come, probably not A main, I don't think, but unlucky.
And
Back
all
to
the
it.
big ults for TS. All of them.
Potential for retakes, even delays.
And you don't need to save that Hunter's Fury for a lockdown. You can just let it loose.
There it is. Instantly with a peek too, thanks to Borkum time. Shadows. The one-way smoke again. Talon has no idea. They feel like they cannot break through this A main defense.
It's tough. It's tough for anybody. You almost have to come from a couple different angles, unless you really have some amazing trades there at the front door of A main, and then maybe you're able to take out the Heaven player as well. Alarmbot.
They're exploring though.
Needs to be cleared. They're going to get the confirmation that Patty was over by short A. Now, Cruz is going to set up the smokes, and away we go.
He's saving that recon for a retake too.
30
Son
seconds
considering
left.
it. And here it is, the ult that you're talking about. A bit of a wall from Patty, but I don't know how much that's going to do. The pressure is on, and here comes Jesse as they try to push past the smoke. At the same time, Jeremy's just waiting for them. Jit Boys finds a little bit of space. He finds that quick double too, but 10 seconds remaining now. No chance in hell, no shot. It's going to be Envy instead for that 5-3.
Yeah, great timing here from Jeremy on that lockdown. They know it's coming. They get the info. They have the sound cues, and he's able to force Talon back into the open arms of Jesse Bash and company for Team Secret, and they're able to just cut Talon up, just absolutely cut him down. This is a great setup here for Borkum. The flash as well with that Hunter's Fury. What a combo from Team Secret.
If anything, the only thing that I'm thinking about is this wall. We broke down one panel, and they felt that pressure from the lockdown, and I think they needed a little bit of space. They didn't want to go towards Boathouse even further, and that's why they went to Defender Spawn, and unfortunately, Jesse just happened to be there.
That's a really good point. That wall almost hurts him in that situation, where you think you can get in there a little bit faster, but because it's there, they don't have an escape valve. And it kind of opens up an extra flank angle. Yeah. It opens up an extra flank angle as well for Team Secret, so that's a really good point. Well thought out here from Team Secret that round. A lot of really good plays.
Timeout being called the first one that we're seeing from this series, at the very least. I mean, you really have to take into consideration the ultimates and the potential plays that Team Secret could pull off with the way that, we talked about this. Everyone talks about this. Ascent is so defender-sided. You need to find these little gaps. Earlier on, they managed to find it through middle. I guess they just don't want to do it too often.
Yeah, that time they tried to kind of dip back into that well, and Team Secret was fully prepared. So now you got to start finding ways to, push and pull the map a little bit, maybe open up some space, keep Team Secret from being able to collapse on you like that. We saw it the pistol round, we saw it here again, where they find these phenomenal timings and angles together, and they're getting frisky.
Frisky indeed. The way that they're just walking out of A main, and it's the Cloudburst just to back off. Garnets saving his teammate's life and his own as well. But what is this? A short already granted?
Look at where they are. They're going to spawn.
So deep, Clinton. I don't know how this is going to shape up, but Jesse Bash is in the prime position. The off angle, a bit of a dig too, but Cruz just down to 70 HP. Not too bad, not too shabby. Talon still can recover off of this. Maybe, again, that B-split push that worked out so well.
Now look at the map control. Oh, dubstep though, able to hold it down. Cruz there, not able to find a better of that trade, so now they have to clear out this quickly, and they do.
Just enough for them to get that spike down. Fox able to hold off Market, potentially Defender Spawn too, but dubstep, Borkum They're all waking up, firing on these cylinders. NV2, one for everyone. And that puts them at a 6-3.
Like you said, they're firing on cylinders, and now the engine's running very, very nicely for Team Secret here. They're just gonna send one over to Borkum. Interesting. They wanna give him the priority. The Altor. Kind of interesting.
Maybe because he's closer, but you know,
still normally
more value, right? Out of another ultimate.
I wonder what they have in store. Now I'm really gonna keep my eyes on Borkum. See what he's gonna maybe do with that ult. See if they've got some trick play up their sleeve. Dubstep was crisp this round. You can see he's got some confidence flowing now that he's back on that duelist, back on the Jet. Guy who has primarily been on that role. We didn't see it at lock-in, but they're back and listen to him. Listen to him. They're fired up, Quack.
Feeling it. And it's the same thing, like what Achilles was saying about the press conference face-off. The videos that they did, Patty talking about age, like, yeah, it's just a number. Clearly, Dubby still has it in him. And right now, Garnet's trying to prove that his younger age can give him the zoomies to find what he can. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. Look at this, 2 Cloudbursts, Envy pushing out. They're aggressive with it. They're feeling themselves. They know that they can go for these duels. Oh my God, trying to wall himself off, but it's not gonna happen today, Patty. I'm so sorry.
Tried to get the wall, just couldn't do it. Jesse, oh, got some damage.
Last player standing.
Got the finish. Only one left here, and he's got the spike though. Can he get around this backside? You've got Dubstep watching this angle.
Just walking straight into it. An easy way for Team Secret to collect on that 7.
Well, there's still hope here for Talon. If they can get 1 or 2 more, you feel pretty good about this half, actually. Like you were saying, it is a very defender-sided map. So those 3 rounds they're able to put together in a row, they're already pretty important. Now if they can find 1 or 2 more, that'd be pretty darn good. I'd say 1 is good, 2 is great. If they can get it going here, it is going to be interesting. They're going to invest in this one, though.
Yeah.
Look at the economy here. It's half armors and Vandals.
If
so
Talon loses this,
yeah, next round's not going to be fun.
And it's already 7-3. Team Secret has been winning 5 rounds in a row. I knew that Talon were going to try to play a little bit fast and loose with this, but when Team Secret does the same thing, you just have so many micro fights happening all across the map that as Team Secret, even as Talon, you can't really quite read what's going on. And because of how the map is laid out, it just happens to favor Team Secret.
Yeah, totally. And you know, they did a good job at that round again, playing off of each other. That teamwork for Team Secret as well was really, really good in that previous round. You know, they knew they lit. Garnet's up. There was a shock dart immediately from Jesse Vash to try to see if he could get it. Didn't happen. Then they start pressing. They know they've got him pinned in. You know, and then they spot Patty out. Dubstep doesn't give him any time to put that wall up to try to get any safety. He just pounces on top of him and takes him out. So Team Secret here feeling confident, and they're playing together really well. And that's the thing they mentioned to me before this was teamwork. That was their key for today.
Everyone's doing their job, if you think about it. Yeah. They haven't really swapped up positions since, but now perhaps it's going to be that set play from Talon. Garnet's rushing straight in. Got KO with the null command too, but Borkum's already in position from heaven. Raining down upon them as he peeks out. Cosmic Defy just to give them a little bit more cover. Cruz finally helping his team, but no! Again, Fox peeking. It's going to be Cruz with Guardian trying to do what he can, but he delays the inevitable. Borkum putting that 8 on the board.
Yeah, a huge save here from Jeremy. And man, Talon now, money is tragic. I'm seeing a Judge, I'm seeing a Spectre. It is going to be, yeah, it's a Swiss Army knife trying to get things going here. You know, trying to pull out everything you can. You got the corkscrew, you got the little knife, you got the toothpick. I mean, everything in the kitchen sink here.
Up against, I don't know, man, like Team Secret's Oni Katana. it's gonna be rough. Oh no, it's a Soul Reaver, the Scythe instead.
Oh, there you go.
Dubby has his blades up as well. He's even got the Operator. They already have information that it's gonna be a B main rush. Jeremy's prepared for this. So is Jesse Vash. They're just continuing to go through with it though. They somehow managed to take down Jesse. And this just might be able to work out. Dubstep trying to find what he can, floating up top, but Instead, it's going to be Envy and Jeremy pushing down from Market. Everyone's been cornered, but Jit Boys hiding inside of the smoke comes out of nowhere and takes them down.
Oh, what a timing from Jit Boys. It was perfect. Completely bamboozled his Team Secret here. They are tunneled on the position of the Jet on the site of Garnets. Patty here with a nice opener, putting that rare Phantom they had in this round in terms of their, oh my god, what a spray down. Gets both heads, flicks right over, gets another. That's a highlight reel play from Jit Boys.
We're talking about it, age, yeah, makes you more experienced, more clever.
Just a number.
Sometimes, yeah, it's just a number. These young guns, they have the game sense. They know, okay, if everyone's gonna go for it, sometimes I could just hide inside this dark cover.
Exactly. It's beautiful. Just the sense that he had there. Yeah, as good as Team Secret is, as good as that half went for them. 8-4 is okay. That's an acceptable half. I mean, to be frank, this is one where I start thinking about overtime potentially. With the way that this map typically plays out, but maybe if it's just like a slightly better half here for Talon, they can get it done. So Team Secret with their more standard comp, I'd say if they potentially have a little bit more interesting utility here to make their attacker side a little bit easier for themselves with the Sova to get that information, with the Recon Dart, with the drone, the lockdown with the Killjoy as well, a big piece of this puzzle. That could get them a couple rounds that there isn't great answers for on the side of Talon's comp. So that lockdown is going to be super valuable, super key here, I think, for the side of Team Secret.
It's going to be able to give them a lot to work with. On the other hand, though, this is, again, where I'm thinking about talent composition. You don't pick this unless you have a specific plan. And on the defensive side, I just don't know if Sage's utilities, the slow is only going to last that long. The wall, unless you're going to get that creative with it, I don't think it's going to help you that much. They need to show us that they have some kind of a strategy, some kind of a plan to dismantle Team Secret's composition.
Yeah, I really like what you say, and I'm really curious about that wall that you mentioned. That's kind of the biggest piece of the puzzle here for me. The rest of it, the Astra, the Fade, the KO, you kind of have a pretty good idea of how they're going to operate that on Ascent. So many teams have played it before. There isn't often too much trickery there. It's all about that Sage. That's the one that crops up from time to time on Ascent, and the biggest piece of that on the defender side, of course, the wall. So what is that going to look like here? The pistol round is great because you can just, knock out, this angle here on A main and force him into a different direction or force him to wait things out, give you that time to take more space on the map, to get more information early. That's where the wall has a ton of value, but if he did catch Patty out, Patty's got to go.
Wall, there you go. It's easily broken. They can still push past this. Thankfully, it's going to be Jit Boys here with a 0 point just to block them off for a second. Team Secret are reconsidering this.
Yeah, Patty, fortunately, is a Sage, so he can heal himself even. Great value in the pistol round.
Oh, now.
Yeah. Sage is great in the pistol round, I'll say that. Not the way that Patty probably, wanted that to go.
Possibly not expecting Team Secret to be there, but at least they gathered that information. But still, this is only 2 players towards the A side. The star is not set up towards A main. And this means it's going to be easy for Team Secret to actually push past this. Jit Boys trying to stay alive too. The site already pushed on over, and this is a full-on 5-on-5 pistol round retake scenario. I'm not a fan of this, Clint.
It's going to be tough for Talon, I think. Team Secret here, though, has a lurker. See Jeremy already out in spawn. That's going to play a huge part of this round.
Envy is low, and there is that perfect seize. They have to peek into it. Here comes Fox, here comes Jit Boys. They're able to go in together, trapping Dubstep inside of Hell. But this frenzy, Jeremy from above. Heaven and Hell working in tandem to leave Cruz alone. I don't know if this is gonna be enough. Even the Nano Swarm narrowly avoiding it down to 22 HP. He no longer has time. And it comes down. Oh my God! The Samurai Chop! This is Tondo Gaming!
Tondo Gaming, I like that. We've leveled up from Adobo Gaming to Tondo Gaming. Oh, Jeremy, you got to do him like that. I love it. And he knew that there was no more time, so we can go for it. A great season from Fox, first of all. That gives them 2 huge kills, but this lurk is so deep and so long from Jeremy. Catches him just off guard, and what a knife. You love to see it. You absolutely love it.
God. I mean, certainly, like, oh, God. Just don't expect it. Now, on to the next round. Talon setting up for an interesting A main push, but oh, God. Instantly met with the Spectres. The flash just somehow did not quite connect. And straight onto the site, it's going to be Envy along with Borkum. They will get the spike down pretty soon. The rotations are kind of late.
Yeah, a push out here from Talon. You know, we saw the other teams previously with Paper Rex and stuff that they try to get aggressive on these ecos, and that doesn't fool many teams these days. Team Secret, no fools themselves. So they're very ready for it. Just buying all the time and trying to see if they can catch anything out. Cruz, is he gonna break the glass here? Is he just waiting to see if somebody's gonna exit?
Ooh!
What a shot.
Don't die to the turret, please. Okay. Still, it's a Sheriff against Spectre, and Jeremy knows that he can run and gun, spray and pray, whatever you want to call it. He's gonna do it. 10-4.
Yeah, the expected result here, but now things get worrisome for the side of Talon. It's a really important pistol round to win when you're on that defender side. When you had not a terrible, but not a great attacker side, they weren't able to get it. And it's huge as the attackers to win this pistol on this map.
Not gonna lie, watching this, I kind of feel at home. I feel like I'm casting APAC Stage 2 again. Team Secret versus Talon.
I'm glad I get to be a part of this, man. This is fun.
The way that they're going in with this, we need more from Talon. Not just heroics from Jit Boys, but more coordination. And right now, going on with this, somehow Patty has managed to sneak past. I don't think he spotted the player towards the back of sight, though. That's going to be Cruz just sitting comfortably. Nobody's going to be able to make it out of A-main with these two watching.
Yeah, no way. Good slow there. Good combination of utility to keep Dubstep from getting much further into that site. They really held him at bay. Never gave him the opportunity to, kind of isolate angles to bust through. Just no push happening. Jesse here with the Bucky. That's one of my favorite guns, just to lull on people with. All right, so let's see what they're gonna dial up on this one. The smoke up front, not information.
TP inside.
TP in.
Bucky, aww. Cruz is just ready for this. He knows how they're thinking. Controller versus controller, and all he's gotta do is to let that Vandal rip. Jeremy, you were the one who knifed them.
This knife is just
30
too
seconds
cool, man.
left.
It's just not even fair how good this is.
The fact that it gives Yoru a demon and like an Oni mask too, like, oh. Still.
Makes me want to play Yoru. I am not a duelist player.
Jeremy, it's time to pay for your sins from before. Garnet is looking for, what? Okay, come on. 1 HP. A little bit of a spray towards Garnet, and here comes Patty to save the day. 10-5. It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, again, the expected result here, at least doing a little bit of economic damage for the side of Secret. But yeah, the good play here up front. What in the world, Cruz?
That was amazing.
That's crisp. Absolutely, again, he's looking so good right now. Patty to find that finish. Now things get interesting. Now things are all squared up.
Shoutouts to Talon viewing party.
Heck yeah.
It's Thailand.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Odin plus Ascent is just perfect.
Oh.
Let's see if we can get more of that too. Getting the recon, but they're falling back. Just kind of trying to relay off of this. A bit of a flash from Jit Boys. Doesn't quite connect, but it does put Dubstep out of position. Allows for a further trade, and this gives Talon the numbers advantage.
Yep, good job here from Talon. Only Dubstep able to find much out of this. Borkum waiting to see if anyone's going to push that angle. He's sitting with the spike there as well. Fox, of course, that opening Odin kill. Just doing some jump peeking. Anybody's going to come on through. They're going to send a fake smoke over to the other side. Try to bait some attention away from this B site. Try to get in. Still plenty of utility here for this entry. You got the paranoia, you've got the flashes, you've got the recon, you got everything you need to clear open this space.
And the space is open. Just Fox trying to clip them as they try to jump past that alley. They managed to make it through. The spike will be planted, but now they have to worry about the post-plant positions.
This will be tough for Talon to break, even with a 4v3. Look at how stacked up on the southern side of the B site they are. They're really trying to hold this out, trying to make them, die in front of this switch.
See, they have the numbers now, just from holding the positions alone. Cosmic Divide is not going to help you that much. And Patty is stranded, lost in no man's land. He can't even cross over to defender spawn if he wants to. Well, okay, they kind of let him have that one. No exit frags for you, though. And this is going to put Team Secret on that 11.
Love the way they set up their posts. The stack, one in main, two in the alley on the bottom side there, and everybody just waiting for the market and the push from the spawn. And it's just a collapse. They just rip them apart here. This is what has been really impressing me with Secret. Is plays like this. That's just unfortunate. Just know. That's just one of those lineups you just know, all right,
right by the lobster.
I know. Right on the tail. I call it pin the tail on the donkey when you do that. Fox, you expect sometimes that Killjoy wants to get aggressive at that angle with that turret and try to gain a little bit of extra space, maybe win a trade. Sometimes you'll see, the Killjoys try to play off that turret a little bit when the opponent is going to take that initial shot at it. If the turret, pings itself, activates, try to play off of it. But in this case, there was no opportunity for that.
None whatsoever. And this is something that really stings for Talon because this was their map pick, Clint.
Yeah.
You would have expected so much more from them, especially with this agent comp that we were hyping up, but I don't know, something's lacking. It feels like it might be just the initiator somehow. Every single time that they try to explode or try to go in for that bit of a push, somehow it just doesn't quite flash them on the other side. And when Team Secret are just holding those angles, it's easy for them to just spray through, mow them down. No one gets across.
No, yeah. No, I think you really, really nailed that. It's coordination from the side of Team Secret is just slightly better than Talon's. And so Talon, they're, having a tough time breaking through when Team Secret is given the opportunity to set up defenses. The retakes have been really, really difficult for Talon to do anything about. So Talon maybe might change up their game plan. You see they're really aggressive at every point of the map, at every focus point. They're at B main with Patty. They've got two pushed up towards the arch. They've got one in tree, one at the door. So no long defenses just yet. Patty probably going to put up his wall in just a moment.
Do it.
He's got to be.
If you're late on it, that's
right.
Oh, God.
You should run.
So risky.
Oh,
what is he
no?
doing? Oh, no.
He puts it up, but Envy just so happens to be on that other side. He thought it might have been clear so that he can sneak behind the wall, and it just doesn't work out. Fox, though, pushing down mid, just might be able to set a bit of a flank, but Team Secret doesn't care. They already have the site. They're pushing in to set up those same post-plant positions.
I understand what Patty wants to do there. It just is a bit unfortunate that you had a player that had already snuck into that position, so didn't come through. Let's see if this retake can be a little bit better. This time, Team Secret much deeper in the site.
So much util still available. It comes down to those minute timings. Talon trying to set up for that coordinated push, and it works out for the time being. But what is this? Envy! A turret kill from Jeremy too! Dubstep with the Blade Storm just pushes them even further back and claims that match point. Economy for Talon is terrible now.
Yeah, again, not the way you want to try to close out a round and a half. Now, we'll remember back to the first half where they were able to close that round even with a battered economy, but I already saw some stingers falling through for Talon. Jim Boyce is a good flash here, it's a good entry, but there's just too many players. You can hide behind these boxes, you can hide in both, so that entry flash is only good for the players closest to that stairwell. Other than that, most of the other, the other opponents aren't going to get flashed by that. So, tough position for Talon to be in, and Team Secret's post-plant defense continues to be near immaculate.
They're just going to do it again. They know that Talon are on an eco. Once they get that spike down, it might as well be game over, and I just hope it's not going to happen so easily. But looking at how this plays out, we just might have that 13-5, not unless Patty can do something about this. Slow orb over onto B main, picks up the Phantom. He's getting tagged up, but that's not too big of a deal. Just has to work with his teammates. A bit of a flank on a flank, though, and I'm not sure if Cruz spotted him out, but here comes Jeremy. All the way from stairs.
Yeah, from the site, yeah.
Cruz.
Ugh.
Trying to play around the turret. A bit of a stinger kill. No spray transfer. It's too darn hard to control that recoil, and it's going to be a 4K for Jeremy to close this out 13-5. What a way for Team Secret to show up and kind of upset match predictions.
This looked pretty clean from Team Secret. They were really well oiled here, really well drilled. The teamwork, the focus for them looked quite good.